Watch this.
Next, football talk is a big hit. Sunday nights to Wednesday nights, we striking a match cause we lit. Y'all know the name, we call it the Dub. On Friday nights, it feel like a club. Getting that VIP treatment on the sideline, they showing us love. Great interviews, go hugs, putting in work, go rugs. Texas youth and high school talking to page on Facebook, hold up. Coach trying to stand on the scene, giving advice, he do what he mean. Jay back and swaggy Rick, rocking the gear, it's so clean.
We rise and go easy, off the easy for cheesy. With my steppers, our special gifts, making flips so easy. Try to win, we so greedy. All our fans are so needy, cause they need to hear them talk about that club. We do it for the dub.
We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. That DF dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. We do it for the dub. That DF dub.
Welcome to the Dub, number one high school podcast starring Pat Oteezy, Jeremy McKinnon, Whitfield Roderick, Coach Carr, and Ryan Riser.
Well, all right. What's happening? What's going on? Welcome to the number one talk show. Speak out.
The Dub, baby. You heard it first. The Dub.
Salute. What's happening this Sunday night? Let's talk about it. What's happening to B-Rise?
Man, what up, big homie?
Hey, man, I'm chilling, man. Like I say, I finally get a break, man. Old lady been having me on 100 dudes to the do. You did?
You been working hard, huh?
Hey, man. No, for real, though. How your weekend been going, big homie?
I've been going good, man. I've been eating. I've been relaxing, man. It's been a good weekend, man. I don't have no complaints.
Hey, man, me either, man. I'm happy it's Sunday, man. Glad I get to talk to the homies. You know what I'm saying? We got special guests. We got one of the top DB trainers out here, Coach Flight. And he a young brother too, man. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? One of the young guys coming up. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's gonna be a fun conversation. We finna bring them on. Before I bring them on, man, I gotta play this. Cause you know we just had our 1 year. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna play this, and after it go off, we'll be on. Right. Let me go and throw this.
Now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
All right, Coach. First anniversary of the Dub. What does the Dub mean to you?
Man, the Dub is how you get information. You get information from everybody, man. You get to learn. It's kind of like you're fellowshipping without all have to be in the same room. I thought it was a great idea when y'all first came out.
Oh man, it means a lot, man. About a year or two ago, man, I went through a situation, man, and I remember J-Mac, my boy Rod, they asked me, they like, hey man, you wanna do this show? I'm like, what? And they like, you would like it, man. So I'm not gonna lie, man, I done met some good people, some coaches, so man, it done been a real blessing for me, it's been a blessing in disguise for me for sure.
I'm gonna start with probably what Roger said a while ago. J-Mac hit me up, man. He was just like, "Say, man, I got a good idea." Yada yada. I was listening, like, yeah. He was like, "Man, I'm introduced to this dude named Pat, man." And like I said, when I first met you, I instantly just like, man, this dude was just A1, you know what I mean? And then he told me Roger was involved. I was like, that's my dog. And like I said earlier, also, but
the Dub, man. To me personally, to J-Mac, man, the Dub means brotherhood, man. It means like I said, man, it's 5 brothers from Oak Cliff covering the sport we love, which is high school sports, football, basketball, name. And it's just a beautiful thing.
How did you feel about the invite, and was you looking forward to jumping on the Dub?
Well, I don't think y'all was going to have a choice, because either I was going to be on the Dub or I was going to get my Lamont on. I was ready to go full on battle aggressive mode. I was ready, okay? I was ready.
Hey, tell the folks where you come up with the Dub and how did it come out?
All right, so man, it started with the Texas Youth and High School Sports Group. I was always in the shadows, never really commented a lot because I'm always busy. Hell, I don't post a lot right now. Hell, I just laugh at a bunch of stuff, man, and be cracking up. So that's where it came from, man. I was laughing. J-Mac, the homie, because he used to coach my son way back in the Gap, so I've always followed what you guys were doing in the group and stuff. And I just kept having this unction, like, man, it'd be dope if we did a high school podcast. And I hit J-Mac up multiple times, like, bro, we need to do it. And I think he probably thought I was joking at first.
I did.
What's the question?
Hey man, keep help me rolling at the end of that video now. I just say what's the question? Like he ain't want to pay nobody's attention. But anyway, man, we got the GOAT. Some people I just got a text a while ago. Somebody said, how you get the GOAT on the show? Hey man,
Right.
hey, sometimes you get lucky. You know what I'm saying? One thing we know, that we gonna shoot our shot, and sometimes it go in and sometimes it don't. But we know it won't if we don't shoot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's welcome the big homie. Even though he's younger than us, but he's still a big homie because he's a big dog in this game. You know what I'm saying? Coach Flight, how you doing, homie?
Man, how's it going? I appreciate y'all for having me.
Hey, man, I'm happy you came on because I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think you would.
Oh man, I love doing these, man. It give me a chance to kind of get my opinion out there so some folks can hear me. I always play around saying I'm gonna jump on a podcast every day, but you know what I'm saying? I'm in the group. I kind of see how y'all's Facebook group goes. So I'm like, man, let me jump on here real quick.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. I was surprised. And actually, it came good because I was talking to the homie, Coach Ward, and I was telling him, man, I need to get a trainer on. We need to talk to some trainers. He was like, man, you got to get Flight now. And you know, Coach Ward is not like real generous with the compliments.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So when Ward said get Flight, I was like, yeah, okay, now we working there. I know it's good there. So I'm happy to have you, homie.
Nah, I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, yes, sir, man. Tell me, man. I guess I want to start off just asking you kind of because I remember you because you know you coached my nephew, but just kind of give us a little background. What made you decide to go this route? Because I ain't gonna lie, you know, these days being a trainer is like having a podcast. Everybody got one. You know what I'm saying? So everybody want to be a trainer. So what made you decide to go ahead and do it? You know what I'm saying? And what's been the key to your success? Because you just growing every year.
Well, honestly, man, it originally happened by accident. So I kind of was just working with my younger brother. I had just, came home from college. My mom was like, hey, well, since you're here, you know what I'm saying, get out there and take your brother to the park and take him to the school and do some stuff with him. So I started there. You know, a couple parents happened to see me at a park. And then it took one high school kid. So my first ever high school kid I trained was Matt Hankins that played at Flower Mound Marcus. And then he went to Iowa and then was recently with the Atlanta Falcons. So Matt was the first one to just be like, hey, man, you know, I seen this guy on the internet and kind of want to see what he about. And then, you know, like I had told you guys a little while ago, man, it was just real trial and error for me. Like, you know, at first I was trying to do all the, you know, the YouTube social media drills because I felt like that was the only way I was going to be seen. And then it took certain guys from me talking to like had some conversations with Clay Mack earlier on, and he kind of was like, look, man, this is what you got to do. Find your style, find your niche, you know what I'm saying? Set your price. Don't ruin the market, you know, and really pour into these kids. So that's kind of the route I took. You know, him and Margin Hooks both took me under their wings and kind of showed me the ins and outs of how to be a professional in the training world. So, you know, from there, man, like I said, it was just kind of building momentum. Like once I started putting that in-game aspect to it and not trying to do what anybody else does, to do my own thing, and it kind of just took off from there.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. It definitely took off. It definitely took flight, pun intended.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Hey man, but it's the reason why I wear my Texas hat, man, because Texas had a great weekend in the DFW, and I saw Miss Nikki is in the comments. Her son just committed to Texas.
Yes, sir. Congrats.
Yes, sir.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Hey man, that's I love her story, and then just hearing the kid talk. I didn't get a chance to interview, but in fact I had to leave. My battery died in my phone, so I'm like, what I'm here if I can't do that? So I just went ahead and left. But you was talking about you train him, man. So tell us a little bit about how Jordan is and what you think Texas fans got to expect out of him.
So, man, Jordan is one of the most mature kids I've ever met, man. And that's like, like you said earlier, you don't want the politically correct, but man, Jordan was, when he was here at Fort Worth Brewer, he waking up before school starts, 5, 6 o'clock, going to the school, working out by himself or trying to gather kids to work out with him, doing track workouts before school starts, like doing his own stuff as well as what the school is asking him to do, not complaining, just always found a solution, man. So, that kid has gotten everything he worked for. There's been no handouts. There's been no nobody just giving him anything, man. He had to go get everything. So, I respect Jordan more than he even knows, and Nikki as well, because it's never an excuse from any of them. Adversity hits and they like, look, I got to find a way. And then they overcome it. And then we move on to the next thing. So, shout out to her, as well for, keeping him in line and supporting him in his dreams and his goals and stuff and making sure that he did what he said he wanted to do. So, he's earned every bit of what he's getting right now.
Hey, no doubt, man. And just the whole journey, when I heard her talk about it before he announced, like she gave, I call it her testimony, but just about the journey to get there, man. It was amazing, man. So I don't wish nothing but the best for that family, man, for the young man. And I hope he's able to take care of his mom and his sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Most definitely. You got anything, Brian, before I go further? I can't hear you, Big.
They muted.
Oh, my bad. Okay, my bad. How long have you been training, Coach?
So I first met Jordan when he was in the 8th grade. Okay. So, he played on our 7-on-7 program from, 8th grade all the way up until this past year. He played in the tournament, a couple tournaments actually. So, he's been around for a while, man, and just year after year, he's found his weaknesses and turned them into strengths. A lot of people try to give him some slack for not being 6 foot, but man, Jordan will run through a brick wall. You know what I'm saying? He ain't afraid to hit whoever, whenever, however, he gonna get it done. So, I watched his footwork improved. I watched his football IQ mainly more than anything. That him going to IMG kind of opened him up to a whole different style of learning, and then you see his body develop. He put on a lot of weight, but it's good weight. It's not bad weight. You know what I'm saying? It's actually muscle, it's power, explosiveness. So, I've seen Jordan go from little skinny, scrawny, fast Jordan to, super physical, aggressive, But Jordan always been scrappy though. We used to get on him in 7-on-7 because I'm like, look, bro, you out here playing football in 7-on-7, bro. Like you taking kids to the ground, you all kinds of stuff. But hey, I love it though. You know what I'm saying? I love it. You can't change the way you play just because it's a touch game,
Right.
Still play football at the end of the day.
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, I was listening to Jordan on the podcast before our show. He was on one of the Texas podcasts, is on 3. And that's what they were saying, like talking to the IMG coaches, how much of a leader he is and how he one of the leaders of that team. And I ain't heard nobody say nothing bad about him, on the record or off the record. So, I think that's amazing. That's always a good job. It's always a reflection of home when you hear stuff like that. So that's one name on your list. So just tell me this, man. You connected with the 7-on-7 squad, or you just be out there?
No, yes, sir. I'm the co-founder actually of Texas Threat. So we used to be called Texas Flex these past couple years, and we rebranded a little bit, kind of changed what we wanted to do. There's another team that had actually purchased the name, so we couldn't stick with Texas Flex. Yeah, I know. But yeah, man, I mean, it's every year, the same thing like we were talking about with the development of Jordan. We have a lot of kids that actually came up in our program, like that same 8th grade freshman team that Jordan was on. DeCorian Moore was on. Kobe Black was on. Wow. Chip Allen, Jaden Allen from Alito was on that team. Devon Keys was on that team. It's just plenty more kids I can name, man. I don't want to offend anybody by leaving their name off, but man, we've had so much talent come through the program, and these kids started at 8th grade freshman year. And some of these kids are just not getting to be, juniors and seniors this year. So, and we're going to continue to do it, over the Metroplex and just try to help whoever is willing to come out and be consistent and really become a student of the game.
Hey, no doubt. Consistency is the key to really everything in life. Ain't no one here to quit us. You got to stay true to it.
Yes,
so tell
sir.
me this, man. So what is your? I know you got probably a big group, but do you have a core group? Like, what's the number on your core group right now that you mainly working with?
Well, honestly,
consistent ones.
It's honestly it's about the whole group. You know, just being honest, these kids are bought in this summer, man. You know,
Right.
So I train in Frisco, Plano, Mansfield. I go to First Baptist with D-Rob, and every week it's consistent. The same kids I'm seeing over and over. It's about 40 kids that are showing up twice a week that's really putting that work in and really trying to better themselves. And then as we go into July, that number is going to probably, increase a little bit because kids are now freeing up. There's no more college camps. There's no more of these, 7-on-7 tournaments. Now it's time to really focus on football right now. So.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it, man. You got anything else, B?
Yeah. So, Coach, do you have any playing experience yourself?
You said what?
I mean, did you play ball?
Oh yeah, I played collegiate ball. So I played at school, Bacone College, and then I went to Northeastern Oklahoma State as well. Mm-hmm.
I take it you played DB.
Yeah. I ran track too as well. So I was a conference champion in about 3 events on the track. Was an All-American in track. But football, at the end of the day, even though it was the last sport that I actually played, became, my love. I never really played growing up just because my dad was a basketball guy. So dad was a basketball guy, and then my mom, no mom at first is like, oh yeah, my son gonna play football, So when I first had told her when I was a kid I didn't want to play, she didn't push the issue. And then when you get to middle school, they tell you, well, you got to do this to play these other sports. So I just played football just to play it, and then, man, I became so competitive and just really fell in love with the game and the understanding of it and stuff. And then it just took off, and that's kind of how I got to this point today was the injuries in college. So,
them injuries, man, that's a real thing. It's physical. Yep. Hey man, it's a war of nutrition, man. Of attrition,
right.
Attrition. But
and people don't understand the mental side of like really going through rehab. So like when you have to go through that rehab situation, or no matter what it is, I had a situation where I had to get like steroid injections into my foot and my ankles, and then it was like torn ligaments in the foot and stuff like that, to where you got to strengthen the muscles back, and eventually, man, it became taxing. It was just wearing me down over time to where like mentally, I was just tired of going to the training room and going to get these shots and having to take all this pain medication and stuff. So it definitely kind of changed the outlook that I have on football as well. And now I had to do my research to teach guys the right way to play and to break so they don't have those same injuries. I have a couple buddies of mine that they all tore their Achilles, because of bad footwork techniques that we didn't really have anybody. Clay Mack was training whenever I was younger, but I didn't know. I didn't know. I wasn't on that side of town, so I wasn't really aware until I got a little bit older. But like there was nobody in my area that was training guys when I was younger. So that's kind of the thing that I want to do is get those kids that like that right teaching, you know what I'm saying? And making sure we don't have little small injuries because of bad technique.
Oh, now you don't got called out already, Coach.
True.
You know how the dub audience, they don't play now. They saying you're being too modest. I remember I told you about that PC.
Hey,
I told you about that PC. Hey, they said you're being too modest, man. They said you train NFL, does pre-combine training.
Yep.
So give us some names now. We need you to go.
Yeah, I want to know.
Go flex a little bit, Coach. Go to flex.
So as far as I'll start with my pre-combine training, man. So this past year I had a chance of working with Christian Gonzalez. I've been training him since he was a freshman in high school. And then Devin Witherspoon. So, Witherspoon was the first corner off the board. Christian was the third. Shouldn't have been, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to show it on the field this year and kind of prove to people what the type of athlete that he is. I think a lot of people are asleep on him for various reasons, but he's the best put together cornerback in this class, and footwork is second to none. I'm saying? I also
had he go in the draft.
He went 17 to the Patriots.
That's what I thought. What school we went to? I mean, what team?
The Patriots.
The Patriots. Okay.
Yep.
Well, yeah, he ain't got no choice up there with Bill because that's a DB guru himself.
He
I know, right?
And I also had my guy Travius Tomlinson from TCU, won the Thorpe. Been training him since he was a freshman in high school. And truthfully, him, if he was 5'10", 5'11", he would have been the first corner off the board. You know what I'm saying? Like there wasn't a better, string of 3 years you can probably find of a guy that was an All-American at 5'7", 5'8", twice, and he won the Thorpe. You know what I'm saying? So had him, my cousin Jalen Jones from Texas A&M did his pre-draft.
San Antonio.
And, yep. That's my guy right there.
All right.
So did his pre-draft, and then Jamie Robinson from Florida State. So I did all their pre-drafts. All those guys were drafted, got a chance to go live out their dreams. Hopefully, for many years to come.
Oh, for sure, man. Now, yeah, you are kind of being modest, man. You all over the place. Come on, Flight. Where you get the name Flight from? Because your name, where they come from?
I got it from track. So I was a 6'10" high jumper, and I jumped 6'10" in college. I jumped 6'8" in high school. But so my coaches started calling me Flight. I was a hooper first. I used to be able to jump real high and stuff, real far and all that kind of stuff. But it stuck with me because my football coach, who's actually, Cole Beasley was my quarterback, so his dad was the head coach. So he just started calling me Flight White and was just saying it over and over and over to where it stuck. First it was Billy White shoes. I was everything that had something to do with white. He called me everything that had something to do just because of my last name. And then it just ran with it from there, where a lot of people just kept calling me Flight. And then it just took off from there. So the kids turned it into Coach Flight because I never told nobody I was a coach. I just said, hey, just Flight, flight skills. And then the kids just started putting that handle on the coach. So then I had people addressing me as Coach Flight. I'm like, man, y'all adding years to me, man. Like,
hey,
man. Don't call me no coach.
hey, you finna be schooling OG.
Man, look, I'm trying to avoid all that, man. I'm trying to stay young as long as possible, man.
Hey, man, I don't blame you, man. Cause ain't nothing about getting older, but just being thankful. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. Hey, we welcome to the party. We got Coach Carr in the house.
What's up, baby?
What's going on?
Man. I got caught up being domestic.
Hey, trust me, I wasn't complaining, but I was just mentioning
about that painting.
Hey, man, I'm good. Call me Picasso, you know what I'm saying?
What up, Coach?
I got furniture sitting in the den for the last 2 weeks, and I started getting side eyes and questions about it. So I guess it was time to go ahead and put it up before I get in trouble.
Hey, I got it. I woke up on Saturday. Well, you had said you were gonna paint that room. Well, I guess let me get
help. You're in trouble.
Yeah, when you start getting reminded, boy, you already know it's going down.
Know what it is, man.
I was like, all right. But welcome to the hey, better late than never, man. Better late than never, man.
Absolutely.
We got Coach Flight in the building, man. We've been taking it easy because I ain't gonna lie, Coach Flight been hitting us with some PC, and he's very, very humble.
He is.
He's very, very humble.
What did he say? Come on, talk to him. Let me see.
I mean, he said like, number one, he trying to make it look like he just help out the kids, but then come to find out he doing pre-combine. He got NFL players and carried out. Then he said he just got a core 40. Hold on, my bad. 40. This J-Man, 40. And then somebody just came in the chat talking about now he got a core of 100. So you know what I'm saying? See, we ain't the tax man, right? We ain't the tax man.
You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful what you brag on these days, man. People will start trying to say all kind of stuff about you, man. When I'm just speaking facts at the end of the day, I ain't trying to pad none of that.
Coach, you know who William Wallace is? William Wallace said that exaggeration is a friend of many and an enemy of few. So what I'm saying is more is less and less is more. You know what I mean? So listen, as long as God continue to bless you following your path and your purpose, man, that's just rewards for everything you've been doing. So,
Yes,
but here's
sir.
a question I got for you, because I have a slight problem with trainers.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
And here's why. There are a lot of good trainers out there. There absolutely is. There are a lot of people doing it the right way. However, I've seen in so many circumstance situations with kids that once they get on campus, they don't know the basics of their position.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Like all those drills and stuff is cool, but if you don't know cover 2, you don't know cover 3, you don't know deep flats, you don't know, you know what I'm saying, all the reads and route combinations, then you just wasting your time. You're just getting in shape. You might as well run track.
Right.
That's the problem I have with it. So can you enlighten me and let me know if you're a person that I should have beef with or a person I should be congratulating because
So I'm gonna put it to you like this, and this is just gonna be the honest answer for me. And once again, I don't try to step on toes. So like somebody like me, what I prefer to do is I try to teach the kids what they're doing at school, because see, that's our first direct conflict we'll have is like say your son goes to a school and all they do is run cover 4. So how is me teaching him cover 2 and cover 3 gonna help him on Friday nights if they never gonna run it? So
well, I beg to differ. So it might not help him on Friday night, but it helps him on that chalkboard.
Yeah. So we get to that point. We get to that point in the off season, like when a kid is preparing to go to college, it should be a different level of training. He shouldn't be doing the same thing. If you've been with the same trainer for 4 years and your son has done the same thing every year, then yes, you are wasting your money. But if the more advanced your child becomes, the more advanced the work becomes. Because like, you know, like I'm not gonna teach an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old the same thing I'm gonna teach my high school seniors that's getting ready for college, because you know, at the end of the day, you got to have a well-rounded skill set. So you know, you have to know to me, if nobody is teaching y'all cover 3, cover 2, and all that stuff at school, that's where the problem comes in. Because see, like, you know, there's been times where there's a disconnect. Like I talked to one high school coach and he says, well, this is the technique we use for cover 2, so I got to teach the kid that technique. And then I go talk to another high school coach and he'll be like, well, no, we line up everything outside leverage and force everything inside. So then it's like, now, depending on where you go, you learning different stuff. Now, there are some coaches that have came from the collegiate level and they teaching their kids everything. Like there's been some times, like I see Kyle Ward here in the comments. One of his kids played on my 7-on-7 team, and I heard him telling other kids alignment assignments and formational cues and stuff like that I know the other kids aren't learning at other schools. So it's like with us, you know, every different trainers vary. You know, like me personally, I teach cover 2, cover 3, you know, because I coach the 7-on-7. So I'm the one that runs the defense on my team. So I have to do the installation stuff. So I have to teach the kids their responsibilities, you know, wide receiver splits, you know, where at on the field, what we would do, field boundary, all that kind of stuff. But like, there's some trainers that rely on, you know, movement training. There's some trainers that rely on, you know, they do a lot of stuff to get your kids tired, you know. So I kind of got out of the habit of saying, oh, this guy's not a good trainer. It's just that maybe what he's doing is not sound for what you might want your kid to be doing. So, you know, like, I feel like most parents should come in and say, hey, my son don't need all this. He needs to know cover 2, cover 3, whatever, and then you'll be able to find out if you're paying the right guy or not. Because there's a lot of guys I know that actually do teach cover 2, cover 3, you know, and we break down the details. We go into the, you know, into the small little pieces of it. But then there's other guys just out there just doing stuff. Like they just like, hey, if your child left here sweating and out of breath, then I did my job. And that's not training.
You know,
what I'm saying?
Another thing that I've noticed too is I see a lot of and it's positional based. So I see a lot of people working with defensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
But those kids don't even know how to get in the stands. But you teach them how to rip and pass rush, right? Yep. To me, that's the dumbest thing in the world, right? All I keep seeing is people teaching kids how to pass rush, right? And somebody in the chat gonna say, well, that's why they make their money. No, it's the glory down, right? Because it's only one down. We're talking about third down. and you got to earn the right to get in third down. Like
Yep.
that don't happen if somebody's running the ball down your throat. But if you can't even get in the stands, if you don't understand block recognition, if you don't understand how to play a base block, play a double team, play a back block, a reach, a scoop, you know, anything like that, then you're cheating the kid. So for me, when I look at guys who say, okay, this is what I do, I'm a trainer, I help kids, I help them do their thing. Like, I want to know what's your fundamental base, right? Is you teach your kids how to get in the stands. If you teach them line 7x1, do you know what it's like to be on the inside? When do you line head up? Do you count the receiver steps? Do you count the receiver tempo when he coming off the ball to judge which route he gonna run? There's a lot of things that I think our kids don't know, but I do know that a lot of trainers, a lot of freshmen are playing at an earlier rate, and I can only attribute that to a lot of kids are getting a lot of good training at an early age.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I do understand that, and I do see the significance of it. And I do, like, I love Clay Mack. I love D-Rob. I don't know a lot about you, Coach Flight, but I heard a lot of good things about you. You know what I mean? I know Twix. I know Coach Eastside, how he get down. So I've seen.
We need to get Eastside. Where is this Eastside?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people work.
He was in the comment section.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people work, you know, on Friday nights. You know what I mean? For me, man, I just like to see kids out there when you go in the 9th grade, you should already know how to get in the stands.
Correct.
If you sitting there telling me that you've been working with a trainer and this guy been working with you and you don't know how to get in the stands and you don't know the difference between the run stance and the pass rush stance, then you need to fire the dude working with you.
Absolutely. And I feel like too, a lot of parents wait too late to get their kids with training, because then it's like we going into senior year, and I've encountered this a lot. Kids don't even know how to get into a DB stance, or they have no hip mobility to where like they so stiff, their knees won't bend, you know what I'm saying? Their hips won't sink. And it's like at that point we doing day one stuff your senior year. And you know what I'm saying? And then another issue that we have is anybody can be a trainer. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, there's a select few people that I've heard, you know, say that they don't even want to be called a trainer, because anybody can wake up one day and say, hey, man, I'm going to get out here. I'm going to just advertise and I'm going to train kids.
Right.
And then it's like, you know what I'm saying? How does a parent know the difference? Anybody that played in the NFL can wake up one day and say, hey, I want to work with your kids. And a lot of these parents will come and take their kids there just because this dude played on Sundays. That don't mean he a good coach. That just means he was a great player. You know, he was a great player, and he was good at what he did. So it's like we got to be mindful of who we take our kids to, and you know what I'm saying? It makes a difference, because sometimes it's they're choosing convenience over quality, is what I say a lot on Twitter. A lot of people don't want to drive to get trained.
Flight, the comments ain't distracting you, is it? I'm throwing up there.
Now, see, I'm reading some as they come up. That's why I'm waiting to see somebody say something sweet. That's why.
I want to show the comments, because, you know, people, they active in the chat. I ain't even gonna lie. They getting active tonight. They active. You know what I'm saying? So I try to throw them up there, but I don't want to distract. Y'all don't distract Coach too much. No, I'm lying. Y'all distract as much as y'all want.
Right,
you know?
right.
But yeah, man, the convenience is what's killing a lot of this, because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been training for almost 9 years, you know, and at one point I was that guy that was like, oh, it's convenient to go to him because he right here, instead of driving across town. And then as I gradually built it back up, now I'm seeing, like, you know, there's a lot of trainers in this Metroplex, and there's a lot of people that would rather train with somebody that's 2 minutes up the road just because they right there, instead of taking them to somebody to know what they're doing. And then they complain and they turn around and say all trainers. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem that I have with a lot of stuff like that, is like, it's not all of them, it's who you choosing to take your son to. And then you know, come senior year, you take them to the guys that's really been doing it, and you want them to fix everything that's been going on wrong for the past 3 years.
Well, listen, chances are those kids don't even play on Friday. So look,
right.
Correct. Hey.
Yeah, that's
I do gotta ask
you
you,
want to be
Coach.
lazy?
I do gotta ask you,
All
Coach.
thing on the football field is the benches in college. The benches are long, man.
Hey, you right. You right. You know, Coach, we over 30 minutes in, so now we can start answering the real question. You know,
I know, I know, right?
We'll butted you up enough, Coach. Now it's time to find out what's really going on. So we was talking. Go ahead, B.
Say, Coach. Okay, as far as with training, you know, have you ever had some kids, you know, when they were just so far behind? When you were like, man, it don't matter what I do, what I teach them, I know for a fact that he's not gonna play college ball. I mean, how do you actually how do you actually deal with kids like that? I mean, do you actually just come back and tell them, hey, you know what? It might be a little bit too late for you, you know, but I do what I can do, man. How do you deal with kids who you know for a fact that's not gonna play?
I mean, I normally ask the kid straightforward if he really loves football. I go to the kid first because see, like a lot of times you'll be able to pick up little tendencies like this kid ain't mentally here. Like it's like he don't want to be here. And then I'll verbally tell some parents, like, I don't think your son wants to be here, or he doesn't have what you think he has. Right. You know, and it's not a shot at the kid because you know what I'm saying, like I have a child of my own, you know, I have a 9-year-old and he shows me no desire to want to play football certain days. Like I ask him, you want to play catch? Like you want to like, nah, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna make it. I ain't gonna just sign him up for some football stuff if I know he don't want to play. You know what I'm saying? Like that's counterproductive. So like some of these parents try to live through their kids, and they got to understand your kid may not want it as bad as you do. And you know, like if I get a kid like that, I tell a parent straight up, if it's too late, it's too late. Right. I don't want to take your money. Like I said, like I told y'all, I work a job on top of training. So like the last thing I need is to be taking everybody's money for no reason. Like if your kid can't play, I don't want him out there, you know, wasting your time and wasting mine. And there'll be a lot of parents that can, you know, test to that and say, yeah, you know, Flight told my son this, or he told my son, you wasting, you know, your parents' money. And I'll say it with the quickness because it's disrespectful at one point because every kid ain't able to go to training. You know what I'm saying? Because parents can't afford it. So if your mom and dad is putting money into you, and then you playing and you out here like not trying to really, you know what I'm saying, like trying to really put the work in, then we might as well save that money. You can go get you a car. You know, they can go on a vacation or something else with that money than besides wasting it on somebody that don't really want to play.
Right.
Hey, you ain't lying, man. I ain't gonna lie. You said something that hit home with me because recently my daughter's actually pretty good in basketball, and I just knew she was just gonna do it. And she just came home one day and was like, "Nah, Dad, I'm done."
Oh, let me say something to this comment real quick. I see on the screen.
Let me see.
Gas is high. Who driving from Duncanville to Frisco? Not me. I can't see who posted it. So
hey, I'm gonna tell you, be careful. Tread lightly on this.
No, I think you need to speak your voice, speak your mind.
I live in Frisco, and there's plenty of parents that have testified to this. I was driving from DHL in Addison home to Frisco to change clothes, and then driving to Midlothian and training at Midlothian. Then I'll do that on Mondays and Wednesdays. Then I'll do the same thing. I don't drove to the park off of Cockrell Hill in Duncanville. I don't drove to DeSoto High School to train. Claude Mathis testified to that. I don't train at Duncanville. You know what I'm saying? I don't drove down to Austin and back. If the kids really want to work, I'll pull up. You know what I'm saying? If I get a consistent group, I'll pull up after work. You know what I'm saying? I'm working in the warehouse, 110 degrees, leaving and then going to go train the kids in Mansfield outside.
The price is right too.
Yeah, but hold on, Coach.
In a Cadillac.
You ain't doing that for free now, Coach. I know you ain't doing that for free.
But Coach, that's poor time management. That just sounds dumb. That you would not bring your clothes with you. You worse than the kids. Bring your clothes with you to work.
Hey, some days
I
I forget,
35, wherever you need to go, get there and get the practice station time and money.
Yeah, you ain't sound, Coach. Yeah,
some days I forget, man. It don't be intentional, I swear.
All right.
Hey, yeah, man. He human, man. That man trying to work a job and he got to worry about dealing with somebody's kid. Come on now, give him a break, Coach.
He signed up for That's the business. It ain't like he ain't getting paid for it.
Hey man, let's welcome Coach Eastside to. What's up, Coach Eastside? Coach Eastside say he cooking a brisket. Let me find out you got one of them Lincoln Riley briskets over there.
Burnt.
No. I do it right. It's gonna cook for 24 hours, man. I'm good.
Already.
What's up,
Party at Coach Eastside.
Yeah, sound like them brisket nachos gonna be off the chain.
Yeah.
Yeah, off the chain. Hey, I know you had a question for Coach Flight Eastside. Go ahead and ask it. I didn't get a chance to say it.
What's up, Christian?
What's going on?
Oh, he gonna call him man by his government. God dang.
What happened?
Go ahead. You called a man by his government.
He said Christian. Look, I thought I was in trouble right there for about 3 seconds. I had to look like
No, y'all kind of hit on it, and then MJ kind of said something. I don't know if she was being funny or not because the Koreans all over the place. But now my question was, why do you think parents don't send their kids to trainers or training?
I think it really comes down to what they want to spend their money on. I mean, and that's just fair. You know what I'm saying? We all have to make these decisions daily on, is this worth the money I'm about to spend on it? And, you know, and if the trainer can't answer all the questions that you're asking, then I wouldn't advise spending the money. You know, there's been some times where I had some parents ask me every little detail. How long is it? You know, what is this about? What is that about? Will he do this? Will he go over that? Do y'all do one-on-ones? And I mean, I answer them all, you know what I'm saying? Just because, you know, it's another opportunity to, you know, help another kid, you know, and also I get paid for it. So, you know, just being honest. And, but I think sometimes it's the cost. Sometimes I think it's the location, you know, like we said earlier, the convenience, you know what I'm saying? If it's way out the way, I can't think of a parent that really will, you know, honestly, if it's way out the way and it's taking up time in the middle of your day on certain days, you know, they got to work in the summertime. Like the kids only went on vacation, not us.
Yeah. A lot of parents don't realize it's an investment. Invest now, you save money now for later. You know? I mean, not only myself, but you know, the money I put into my son, you know, he's going to school for free. You know what I mean? So the cost of the training is minute of what education costs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So the parents, it's just, man, you know, I explain to a lot of people, like, you know, you get your tax refund. Parents go out and spend it all. They go to the mall and buy all this shit instead of letting that money last longer. You know what I mean? It's, you know, it's an investment, and a lot of parents don't see it like that. And I try to convince some of my parents, hey man, you do it now, you won't have to pay later. You know. Or give your kid an excuse why he can't go to college. Well, I can't afford it. Well, shit, you should have sent him to training, you know, got him better, you know, instead of rolling the dice on the talent you think he has, you know, instead of getting him better. But you know, that's just my take on it.
I like that. I like that.
Educated on this.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, man. I mean,
and you said inconvenience. Man, hey, this shit goes by quick, man.
One thing, Miss Johnson Rebel. I don't know if she I think she's Johnson or she Rebel. I don't mean to offend you, Miss Nikki, but I'm just saying, like, I no offense, but nigga, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just saying, you, like she was saying, like her whole life with her son has been a sacrifice, and this is what I loved about her testimony / speech was. She just broke it down. She was like, hey, I'm not going to tell you your life don't change when you have a kid and you want your kid to achieve these dreams. She was like, my life changed. Like, she did all the sacrifices. She made all the sacrifices to see her kid get to that point to where now he got the free education. We ain't going to talk about the NIL. Hey, Miss Nikki said for life. I'm just messing with this nigga. Don't cuss me out. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of benefits that came with that, going to IMG, all that. Like, but to get there, she had to drive from Fort Worth to wherever flight was, and all that, and do all that, and pay for all that. So, you know, sometimes you just got to do it, man. If if your kid love it, then you gonna do it. Sacrifice just come with it. And don't let MJ tell you she ain't sacrificing. She's sacrificing. Quit playing MJ.
Oh, that's who said that last one?
Yeah, that's MJ.
Then I apologize because I would love to have my star receiver back next year on my 7-on-7 team.
Hey, but you said something though, Jeremy. Now with the NIL, it is really truly an investment. You know what I mean? Because NIL money now changes lifestyle, circumstances, families, generations. So getting that extra work in, I mean, I don't know. And again, we didn't have all this stuff. Like, we didn't have camps to go to during the summer. You know what I mean? Like, we ran track. That's what we did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like summer track. You know what I'm saying? That was what it was. Get ready for football season. Now with the game that changed and so many avenues and platforms have developed, being out of shape costs you money. Not being fundamentally sound, unless your talent supersedes that fundamental, it's costing you money. So in the age of where 90% of the guys you're competing with are average players, you need to start doing stuff at an early age to start separating yourself from people. And investing in trainers, man, shit, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. But get you some good ones. Get you some good ones.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, Coach, I got to ask you, what high school is DBU right now?
Oh, man.
I just got to go there, man. I'm just going to ask.
Look, so I'm going to say, I'm going off the recent body of work.
Stop.
I was about to say, there's only one school that I've seen as of right now that sent their whole secondary, even backups, Division I, and that's going to be SOC.
Hold on. Horn got quite a few.
Horn said like 6 last year.
Now Horn did. Now, I do agree. Mesquite Horn did, but SOC won the state championship.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, which it don't, and that's why I be trying to tell my Horn people. I hate bringing it up because it just make you look bad. You can't have 6 D1. You can't have 6 D1 DBs and lose to Wiley. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to hear that.
Oh, hey, what did DB fall?
Man, that's crazy. It's a lot of talent over there, though. I like how consistent that program, because even from back when I was playing, Horn been consistently sending guys to the next level. So they got a lot of.
No. I'm gonna correct you. No, they haven't. They had to get rid of that coach.
No. He's talking about before that, because you got to remember, Skyline's biggest rival was Horn at one point.
Yeah, sure was. Yeah, they were going at it.
Yeah. Right about that. But when that coach came in, and I'll go ahead and say he worked the system. He had some family, whatever, Mesquite ISD. He wasn't doing nothing for that program. They got rid of him just in time. I mean, those are my kids, so I'm glad they brought Coach Allen in at the right time, because my kids, boy, they were gonna be hurting if that same coach was there.
Yeah, and shout out to Coach Allen, my boy Coach Rowe. That's my homie, man. Coach Rowe, Coach Allen, and shout out to the coach before they got there, because he gave them all them D1 players. That's what y'all tell me about North Crowley. That's what y'all tell me about North Crowley. Y'all say Allen gave Gates all them D1 players. So let's give a shout out to the coach before Horn. That was at Horn before Allen. Man, he gave him all them D1 players. Shout out to you too, Coach.
You just couldn't help yourself.
What do you say?
You just couldn't help yourself, could you?
I could, man. And I'm gonna get cussed out in my text when I wake up in the morning. I already.
And you know, Ro gonna have a whole paragraph on you.
Hey, man. Hey, Coach Flighto spoke him up, boy. He said SOC DBU, and guess who show up?
There you go. Man.
Here we go.
I missed that part. Oh, my bad. I was watching the Juvenile Tiny Desk.
Oh, say y'all, man, Ward
just being honest,
all
man.
The most random stuff that you would never think that he would do.
Nah, listen. If Coach Ward went from Oak Cliff, he'll be from Mesquite. Okay.
You don't know mosquitoes. Don't do that. That's like
boy, that's cold. Boy, that's cold.
You wouldn't even know Kyle Ward was black if it was.
This guy Ward.
Man.
How you doing, Coach? How you doing, Coach?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I told you, man. I just watched Juvenile Tiny Desk. It was fire too.
Was it fire? I gotta go back and check it out, man. I seen clips of it. I ain't seen all of it though, but yeah,
I like the live instruments and stuff like that. So that's something I really enjoy.
I'm gonna check it out now.
I'm gonna check. Hey man, how many people you got, Coach? You got Coach Flight up on here, man. How many players you know that train with Coach Flight?
A lot.
Yeah, well, you know, Coach Flight, you know, he been real. I mean, he acted like we the IRS or something. He over here talking about he got 2 kids every other day. You know what I'm saying?
He been real humble, man.
I'm gonna get audited after this. That's why.
I heard some of the early part, and I mean, I ain't speaking for him, but trainers don't see everybody that consistently trains with them as their core. You know what I'm saying? When you train kids, you deal with a lot of kids that come and show up consistently and pay. May never be your kid. You know what I'm saying? So when he said I got a core of 40, and people are like, nah, he got way more kids than that. I mean, yeah, but that ain't his core though. You know what I'm saying? Them core kids is your kids. Them core kids are the kids that people look at years down the line and see your print on. You know what I'm saying, Paul? That's more your core group.
Right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying on that. And because, like you said, you get all them kids that just show up because they see them on Twitter and they see all the other kids tagging them on Twitter and stuff like that. So they show up to a workout, stuff like that.
And kids gonna do that randomly. Shoot, it'd be middle school kids randomly tagging me. Be like, man, stop tagging me. I don't like sock kids tagging me.
You don't like kids, period. I don't say how you're a coach.
That's a good point.
But you like coaching, so that's all that matters, right?
It's easy to be unbiased when you don't like kids. I don't get loud, you know, like it's like the super dad or the super mom. I don't get lost in the sauce with my kids. I'm more critical. You know, I tell you one of my kids ain't got it before I lie and say you do got it. You know,
ain't
what I'm
no
saying?
doubt about that.
We actually talking about the position, so and maybe that's where it helps.
No, I tell everybody, man. Coach Ward is the most non-PC guy I'll ever talk to. Like, hey, if you get a compliment out of Coach Ward, and that's on Earl, that's behind the scenes, it don't matter. if you get a compliment from Coach Ward, that's how I know somebody is real. When Coach Ward say, yeah, that kid pretty good. That kid good. Did I know he good?
He gotta be some. He ain't gonna lie. Man.
Because he ain't gonna lie. That's why when he said you need to get Coach Flight on the show, I was like, yeah, I gotta get Coach Flight on the show. Like, he ain't finna just say that just no random stuff. That ain't Ward. Cause he ain't generous with the compliments. I'm telling you that right now.
I mean, it's only 2 guys that right now that you could have on when you're talking about DB Flight. And I mean, there's some guys training kids and kind of working their way up, you know, but it's only 2 guys you can talk to.
Who's 2 guys, Coach?
Christian White and Clay Mack.
Government name, yeah, you getting audited tomorrow, no doubt about it, homie. I was trying to hide you, but yeah.
Clay Mack don't really fool with high school kids as much anymore. I don't think.
Pack it up.
Who, Clay?
Yeah,
I won't say that though. Clay just doesn't advertise. Is the difference. And we've had a conversation and he told me that that's just not him. He was like, I don't feel the need to do all the internet advertisement and stuff like that. So he just stick to what he do. You know what I'm saying? Because trust me, it still be kids over there. I be seeing them little. He don't post it, but they post it, and I'll see it'll pop up on Twitter, and I be like, dang, like it's jumping over there.
7-on-7 game this year.
Yep.
Oh no, I know he out, and I know he's still working. I remember when his high school clientele was big like flights. Let me say it like that.
Yep.
So when I say he don't really deal with high school kids like that, from my knowledge, he don't have that same group at that age because he trains so many older guys now.
Mm-hmm.
So with J-Mac.
Host got kicked out.
Well, apparently so.
He probably was gonna get him some more Johnny.
Yeah.
Keep pushing too much.
Hey, so Kyle, man, quick question, man. What makes soccer so attractive? What do you do as opposed to what other people do that makes your DBs that much more attractive? College coaches.
I think we run a advanced system. So, and it's like that at linebacker too. But we run a really advanced system. We ask kids to do advanced things, advanced techniques. They have to pattern progression read. They got to understand the game. You know, I get a hard time. People give me a hard time all the time because I don't really like the let's just dumb it down kind of thing. I feel like on defense you dumb it down when your D line is great. You know, that's the only time you really dumb it down. Outside of that, it's a lot of pieces that got to move to that puzzle. You know, and so it's just advanced. We play an advanced style. You got to know a lot, play and do a lot of things. You know, a lot of the transition to college for our kids typically is easier because they probably run less in a system than we do. So I would say that's the most part of it. You know, I mean, put it like this. Let me simplify it. Will colleges want to see a kid's ball skills, him tackle, and can he turn and burst? Just to dumb it down. Most of the systems that a lot of people are playing in don't enable that on film. So ability or size or talent wise, it may be a kid that doesn't get recruited because of those things, if that makes sense. They see it, don't mean you can't do it. So people be like, you know, wake them up and all of that, and they sleeping on me, and I ain't rated this. So a lot of that got to do with the skill set that you're showing. And so when it's something that's missing, it's assumed that you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what good evaluators, that's what they should see. We schematically and how we use technique show that constantly and beyond on this level. I think that's the answer to what you asked.
Well, no, that is. I'm reading this comment. I don't know why y'all think that if I stayed forward, no one would know his name.
Hey, while you do that, let me go on and ask Coach Flight, man. Who the best DB going into next year in high school in DFW?
Corian Gibson from Langston.
Ooh, over the kid from Louisville.
Absolutely, it's no disrespect to any
over the
kid.
Alito kid. You just said he was over one of your kids.
Corian is too.
Okay. No. See, I just want to put that out there because see, I picked Corian as the best DB going in next year. So you co-signing what I said.
I just think that the overall body of work, especially for what Coach Ward just said, ball skills, he can turn and run with anybody. He got long arms, big hands, physical, scrappy. Right. I mean, he's played every position in the secondary. You know, he spent his entire earlier years playing safety. Now he's playing corner. So it's like I think he can just line it up wherever on any given day and still be able to make an impact on the game.
Ain't no doubt about it, man. I said he was the best DB. I said he was the best cornerback going into next year. That was my opinion. I don't know if we should have had you on. I apologize, but I had to. Who the best cornerback in the dub and didn't have Coach Flight on. That's my bad, Coach. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. But yeah, that's good. But you know, my man Coach Ward, he said the Louisville cornerback was the best one. You want to give your explanation, Coach?
Yes, I mean he the best one I've seen. I've seen him multiple times. Again, Flight, like Flight said, he trains the kids, so he knows the kids. The ceiling, you know what I'm saying? Him at his best, him at his worst. All I've seen is probably game tape. You know what I'm saying?
So talking about Tony?
I'm talking about him. Yeah, Tony.
Tony.
Not the harder kid, that kid.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I really like him. I like his he a competitor. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He got some stuff. Some people got good game tape, but you see camp settings and you get to see them isolated, and you see they a little different than they look in the game. And vice versa. You know, so I would be comfortable with that kid. You know, I wouldn't really be worried about him. You know, he'll take his lumps like everybody does, but he kind of made that impression where I'm looking most forward to seeing him play this year.
Yep, his football IQ is really high.
You can tell.
He understands his biggest weakness, and he hides it very well because his technique, and he played like, you know how we always tell these kids in one-on-ones, you know, treat everything like it's a 9 until it ain't. You know what I'm saying? Even like in any cover situation. So he's really playing everything like it's a vertical, and then he's driving on any breaking route. So, you know, it's a real smart, you know, technique to come into these camps and stuff with too. And Tony's impressive, man. I've seen him on the 707 circuit. I don't seen him, you know, when he was younger. You know, I worked his older brother a couple times, and no, the kid definitely got something, man. I was impressed. I was impressed with how he turned out. And still going too, you know what I'm saying? He still got some room to grow.
And he keep getting better.
Yep.
Sure.
Ain't no doubt. So who would you say? Okay, that's your number one. Who would be if somebody just came to you and said, "Hey, Coach Flight, who's gonna be the breakout DB next year?" Who would you say?
In the 24 class or the
not in the 24, just period, just on varsity now. Don't give me no peewee player, no junior high. On varsity, who is the name that everybody needs to know because they gonna hear about it?
Man, I'm trying to think of anybody they don't already know about. Because I like the Alito kid, the Johnson kid, but I think he already
about to make an announcement, right? He about to make.
He already blew up.
Yeah, well, you know what? I wouldn't even say he's already blew up, but he is a good one. I liked him too when I saw him.
And I like it because he's the youngest one in the class. So that kid gonna graduate at 17 years old, and you know he really should be in the grade below. So I think that's what makes him most impressive with me. You know, it's just like the same thing with my guy Kobe Black is also just turned 17 years old. So it's refreshing to see these kids that's in the right, or if they may have started school early and they're a grade above than what they're supposed to be, and they're still putting on a great showing. So I really like the Johnson kid is really impressive to me because you can just see that he's still raw, but he's still very good for him being a raw player like that.
Yeah. Okay, so what about underclassmen?
Let me see, underclassmen, class of 25. I can't really just think of none off the top of my head. It's just that people don't already know about. You know
well, give me who they already know then, because I don't know nobody at 25. Talk to me.
I mean, shoot. Duncanville got 2 of them that I like. Polly and Holiday. I think those
we had Polly on the show. Yeah.
Timberview got a safety. 2 safeties actually in 25 class that are both really good. The Tillman kid and Pratt, Elijah Pratt. Those kids are really good in that 25 class. They got some solid tape, man. I just think that hadn't really been seen by too many. You know, and the more that they camp and the more that they get out, people start to kind of get eyes on them and understand. There's a kid over at Richardson Bergner that should be playing full-time DB that's been playing some wide out. Kobe Foreman that I think can be a really, really good shutdown corner if he ever decides that he want to do that. And I don't really know too many more, man. I just know the ones that I've kind of seen with my own eyes. You know, it's one that's gonna pop out though. It happens every year. We'll be like, man, who is this kid? And then he ended up being one of the better ones in the class. You know, that's the beauty of it. Like I told y'all earlier, like y'all get to go to these games and see them. So you know, I haven't really got a chance to watch too much football outside of, you know, what's happening on Saturdays and Sundays, and then of course the 7-on-7 because I was working those nights. But now, you know, I'm gonna ask Under Armour to give me them sideline passes so I can go to these games and really get to check these kids out. Because every year, man, one pop out, and I'm like, man, who is this kid? Like where did this guy come from? And it's just like y'all were talking about Horn earlier, man. It was some cats at Horn, and I'm like, dang, like I was at a camp one day and Horn had like 3 kids go in a row, and I'm asking the guy next to me, man, where that kid go to school at? Mesquite Horn. Oh, okay. What about this one? Mesquite Horn. And then when I asked him about the third one, he said, you gonna laugh when I tell you. I said, man, all these kids at Horn, I had never seen Horn play. So I'm like, dang, like they got You know, all four of their starters went D1.
You seen them play on 7-on-7. You just didn't know there was a horn.
Potentially, who they play with?
Me, New Breed, and
okay. We'll see that. See, we never played y'all though.
Yeah, I know. Believe me,
yeah, that's the thing. Like I'm so used to the True Buzzes and the Grinds and TDG and Ice and all the 9-4 Elite, like all them teams like that. We never get to see some of these kids because you had the Coleman. It was his last name Coleman.
DJ, yeah, Baylor.
Yeah. So he was over there and he was impressive. You know what I'm saying? My first time seeing him, I was shocked because he was so big. I was about to joke with him about him playing linebacker. Yeah. And then he went out there and locked these dudes up at the camp. And I was like, nah, joke's gone now. Like you learned.
Hey, his daddy wanted to play quarterback at first.
Man, see that there. we lose too many Division I DBs are lost chasing them QB dreams.
Yeah, they don't want them problems.
Hey, like, for real. That's the most political position in all sports, I believe.
Yeah, most stressful for a parent too.
Hey, I always say the for a parent, the loneliest is quarterback and cornerback.
I sit by myself.
Yeah, those two hardest.
Hey man, when you the parent of a quarterback or a cornerback, don't sit with everybody. I'm just telling you right now. Just sit off to the side. Cause you gonna hear some stuff.
Hey Jay, man, my wife was sitting down with the regular people. She came out, you know what they saying? I said, that's why I'm sitting up here.
Man.
Who's the regular people, Coach?
Us.
The regular people. You people.
I need you to put some names on the regular people.
The non-quarterback parents are the regular people.
Yeah, exactly. Non-quarterback or quarterback flight. Because I'm telling you, man, it's lonely as a quarterback parent.
Coach, listen, hold on, Jeremy. The most hated group on the field is the offensive line.
Yeah.
Like, don't sit next to no line to people. Because if the quarterback terrible, it's the offensive line. If the running back's terrible, it's the offensive line. If the receiver can't catch, he ain't got time to get the ball to him, Coach. It's the offensive line.
I have to disagree with you on that one because the quarterback getting all that blame. I'm telling you that. Only person blames the O-line is the quarterback parent.
Them the two worst.
Quarterback
and then the coach's wife is the other one you don't want to be either.
Oh, the coach's wife don't need to sit in the stands at all.
No.
She need to be in the press box.
Yeah, she need them NBA side chick seats.
Man, I went to the one high school game I got to go to this year. The coach's wife was in the stands clapping back. Anything that was said about the coach, she firing them back in the stands. I was like, man, we got to get up. It's going to be a war zone by halftime. She wasn't having none of that, man. I'm like, nah, she take your kids and go on.
I bet you it wasn't at no sock game, was it? Because sock coaches fire back. They
Yeah, our wives ain't got to do that.
Sock coaches. You can say what you want to say if you want to. But they gonna come back right there and there. They ain't even gonna wait.
I'm gonna tell you where I'm scored. Hey, I'm scored, J-Mac, because I'll never forget I went to that DeSoto South Lake game. It was the second round of the playoffs. Let me see, Jabbar was a junior. So that would have been 2018. And it was a parent up there with a megaphone. Dog. Yeah, that was some of the most disrespectful stuff I ever seen. Like, yeah, nah, dog.
I hope you ain't talking about my man. It sounds like you talking about my man Book, man.
I don't know who it was. I mean, if that's what he was doing, then it was him because he was tripping.
What side was you on?
DeSoto.
You on DeSoto?
Come on, fam. You trying me now? See, this that card. You gotta get that card out, man. You getting too old for that.
I was going to make sure one South Lake people with a bullhorn.
I don't know. It was DeSoto on DeSoto side.
Okay.
He was doing it so heavy all game. And I was sitting up there, like, I was getting irritated because I'm like, dog, ain't no way nobody's gonna be talking to me like this. Like, they can have this. Yeah, like.
So let me ask you a question. Would you came up in the stands?
I don't know.
Ron Artest style.
I don't know. I don't think so. I can say I don't think so. But I done had some
would you have hired him and count him later?
I done had some instances. So I can't say that I wouldn't have. I don't think I would have. I think I'm more professional than that. So we're gonna say probably not.
Would you see them, recognize them, find out who they are?
We would have had that conversation. We would have had that conversation. It would have happened. It would have happened ASAP. Can't tell you when ASAP is. We would have had.
Would have been on as some young
as
folks
soon as possible.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you ain't finna hold me out like I ain't like you. Like you, I don't give a damn what I do. Like, nah. If I made a whole lot of money, yeah. But like, come on, man, we ain't eating like that. Like, nah, you ain't. We gotta talk. We gotta have a conversation.
What is that? They'll pay you. They'll take a
feel like you feel like I'm a hoe. You know what I'm saying? At that point, you know what I'm saying? We're like, where we from, it's only certain ways you can take certain things. You know what I'm saying? And
I know.
And when you're doing something like that, and you just that's like so blatant. Like I want you to know it's me. I want you like, yeah, fam. We this high school coach and stuff, man. We still see each other at Walmart. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know where I work. I know where you were. Like, it's still small, you know. And I'm not. I ain't at that point. The Lord's still working on me.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, as Lamont had to find out personally, I had to let him know on the sideline. We was in Little League.
Really?
Yeah. So we playing the Bills, man, and it was during the year of COVID, right? So I'm straight up volunteering my time to begin with, right? So this like I'm literally still coaching college ball, but we didn't have no season. I got a chance to be at home. Cool. So I'm just love football, want to be around it, so I'm coaching Little League. His son wouldn't even come off the ball. He was just standing there, like looking around, and they was just running right at us. Never met the kid, don't know Lamont, whatever. So I looked around, I was just looking for anybody to put in, grab dude, man, go get that dude, Lamont. Why you taking him out? He all district. I said, I don't know what district he in, but he ain't doing nothing out there.
Oh yeah. Well, he definitely didn't know you, cause Coach Carr is probably the most honest dude I know. I mean, he ain't got a PC bone in his body. He
so he's like, oh, he did. I said, hey, look, man, he ain't doing nothing. He's just standing there. He need to come sit with me. He came over there and sat with me. Let the kid get some rest. Let him go back in the game. And that's when he started learning about load management for D-line. They're not going to always be their best if they always tired. You know what I mean? You have to rotate them. And some parents think their kids are Superman, but they really not. They're Lois Lane. And a lot of times they're going to get you in trouble more than they're going to help you, man. Like, I think some people are delusional about their kids. My son was playing Little League football with the Redbird Raiders, and they was on flag, and it was in the championship game. And that little boy wouldn't come off the ball. He wouldn't grab a flag. He wouldn't run to the ball. I went on the sideline and told the coach, take him out. We want to win a championship. He ain't helping us. Coach took him out. You know what I mean? You got to be honest about your kids, man.
Right.
I mean, that's just me.
Oh, it's going down, man. Hold on, let me see what's in the chat going on. I don't miss something, man.
They going back and forth.
Okay, well, let me give Flight a chance to rename his 2025 boys. You got it. You want to say
I said the two Duncanville kids first too.
That ain't even what they going arguing about. It's
what they arguing about now.
Hey man, we here, coach. We here.
What they arguing? Now let them fill me in.
It looked like somebody said a 26. And so they're arguing about whether y'all was talking about just underclassmen or 26 or 25.
Well, to clarify, I'm glad you said that. I said underclassmen. Coach Flight said 2025.
Well, how many 2026 kids have actually gotten a chance to play varsity so far? Start.
Yeah, because we don't do freshman JV over here.
And then and then when you start naming kids, Will is gonna say, where are they playing at? You know what I'm saying? How are they playing it? That's what we so
man.
Because he gonna be the first one. Well, where they play at? That's too many freshmen playing on varsity. Where they play at?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I had to answer that. I had to answer that question to a parent one day because he asked me about the rankings. Well, how do they do the rankings for the 26s? Because it's kids with JV film, a freshman film that's ranked ahead of kids that got varsity film. So then, you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen too many 2026s, you know, that actually got to play. Now the wide receiver from Red Oak is the one I feel like that got the most playing time in that 26 class that I've seen. You know, I could be wrong. You know, I know, like I said, y'all seen a lot of balls.
Yeah, you talking about DBs too. So yeah, I was gonna say the kid at Berkeley, but he didn't play DB. He didn't play DB on.
Yeah, all the 26s that get to play a lot of all wide receivers almost, because most of these schools that are known for producing these DBs, they loaded. So it's like, you know, they 26s are playing JV because they got so many, you know, 24s and 25s they can play or that's in line. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still trying to find the best 26s out there, to be honest with you. You know, like I said, I got a team, so I gotta go find whatever 26s I can find before everybody else invite them out for free. To say they can just come play.
So how do you do that, Coach Flight? Like, when you I know you deal with parents firsthand with the kids, as just say that they had a big time program where, you know, when you had a big time program, you ain't finna step in as a freshman and be running things. You ain't finna step in probably as a sophomore and be running things. So have you ever had to have a conversation with kids and parents about trusting the process, and you just keep working and the cream gonna rise to the top?
Man, every day, but not many of them listen because social media has made it to the point to where it's like they comparing their kids to other kids in different situations with different skill sets. Like, you know, a lot of these parents seem to think that all the kids are the same. So then they'll see a kid doing something somewhere else and they'll be like, well, my son better than him. Right. I'm like, but yeah, he not at a 6A powerhouse like your son is at. So he gonna get the opportunity. So when you move your son over to one of the powerhouse programs, you have to understand at that point they're not gonna play until it's their turn to play. You know what I'm saying? Because they gonna always have kids that move over there in the 8th grade or freshman year that's always gonna go over there and be players and ballers. You know what I'm saying? This stuff works just like college. You may think, oh, my son the next one up, and then boom, a kid move in from out of state. He that dude. He moved out here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the rankings and all that stuff has turned more analytics than ever. You know, I have a lot of good friends that actually work for 24/7 for On3 and stuff like that, and they tell me every day, like, man, it's more than just tape. You know, your tape can be good, but what's that 100 time like? You know what I'm saying? What else is going to verify your athleticism for us to rank your son? Like, what else is going to, besides just watching you? Because I mean, some of these kids do have really good JV tape. And you got to be a good evaluator to say, oh, that kid's only on JV because they want him to get reps. Like, for instance, your backup quarterback, you don't want your second best quarterback not getting no reps. You know what I'm saying? And then it's time for him to get in the game. Like, I don't see the school pull up a kid off of JV and throw him to start on varsity before the varsity backups got on the field because they was getting them reps. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got different philosophies. So
and
some
people
kids
watch the JV film.
Huh?
People watch the JV film.
Yeah, depending on the kid. Yeah,
I believe so. I mean, how are some of these kids that never played varsity already 4-stars?
Coach, you know, they got the size and the attributes.
Yeah, but where they gonna see that at though?
Well, you're gonna see it because you get a lot of kids that go to camps. Okay, so let's look at it like this: if a kid is a JV on JV at Duncanville, is a JV guy on SOC, that's a different ball game between a guy being a JV at Pinkston or a kid that's a JV at Carter. Right? Those are different dynamics, right? That goes into that because you're going off the history and of the kids that came before them to production. You're going off the coaches that's at the school, the consistency of the program. the reason why these positions always have high-ranked kids, like Duncanville always have defensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's going to always go to Duncanville for defensive line.
Well, not always. While Ray there, because before Ray they ain't have it.
But I've only really known Duncanville since he's been there, right? So they've always had defensive line. So when you look at that, you're going and you're saying, okay, if Colin Simmons is a senior, I know they got something else behind them because they had an A-ball, and before they, after an A-ball was the Colin Simmons. Now they got a January. Now they got a, you know what I'm saying? They got so many kids coming down the pipeline that okay, it's safe to say that Duncanville JV got some D1 players on it, right? But that's a program. So how do we see that kid who's not at Duncanville, but he's at Pinkston and he's on JV, but he got the same skill set?
They're not seeing it.
That's what I'm saying.
So what you're saying is correct, but like history has shown too that them same schools that you naming, those are always the same schools that have kids that have stars that they ain't even touched the field yet. It's the same schools every year.
But if you go into depth and look at it even deeper, how many of those do you know that play on Saturdays that you know their names at the next level?
I can't name many.
You see what I'm saying? So then it becomes more of that talent, that person, that kid who might not necessarily have those same what's the word I'm looking for? Have those same resources that other kids don't have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And when they do get those resources, they blow up. There's a lot of people that I can look at there's a kid named James Hall. I'll never forget this dude. Played on a team that was like 5 and 6 out of Louisiana. A lot of people didn't look at him, didn't say he was going to be this, didn't say he was going to be that. And I remember when he came to Michigan, and I was like, man, this dude got some, he can ball. Like, he good. Like, he can play. And then as he kept going, and he ended up playing in the league 12 years, averaging almost 10 sacks a game. To me, finding those type of people, to me, is more about the recruit. Now, if your kid is 6'5", 6'4", 275 pounds, and look like Tarzan and go to Duncanville, he's going to be ranked ahead of a kid that's 6'4", 230 who goes to Pinkston. You know what I'm saying? Even though the 6'4", 230 has a higher upside. You know what I mean? So rankings, I'm just saying this to parents, rankings is all subjective. Like, it's cool, right? At the end of the day, it's cool. Oh, my son is ranked this. That's bragging. That's more for you and maybe your kid's ego.
Mm-hmm.
It holds no weight to a college coach. I could tell you that right now. The lazy ones, yes, absolutely. Because they're lazy and they don't know talent. You know what I mean? That's something totally different. But to real college coaches, no, it ain't like that.
Coach Flight, give me Corian Gibson or Kobe Black. Who you got sticking the number one receiver?
Oh, the person in the background told me not to answer that one. They told me to leave that one alone right there.
Hold on, Kobe.
Them 2 day ones, man. I've been working with both of them kids since they was 8th graders and 7th graders, man. So that's gonna be the only time,
man. You gotta have one
today.
You facing the number one receiver. He's a big time receiver. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pick a quarterback to stick him. Who you putting on him?
Man,
what school does Black go to?
Waco Conley.
Oh, okay.
He a bad man, Coach.
Yeah, I know. I seen him before. I be knowing the school. I don't be remembering the names a lot of times.
Nah, he a bad man. I'm surprised he didn't move to DeSoto. Oh, relocate.
Dang.
Yeah.
Say, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people got to do what they got to do.
Hey, well, you know me, man. I'm just gonna say it, you know.
He got tired of where he was at, Jamie.
I'm just saying, man, you know, crime-free Glen Heights, who wouldn't want to live there? So you ain't got to answer for me, Coach.
Nah, I'm gonna pass on that one, man. I'm gonna pass on it.
God dang.
That's family. Now, if you say anybody else, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'd have made an easy decision on that one. They're my boys right there, though, man. Maybe they play together at the next level. We don't know.
They might. You see, I got the hat.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Coach Eastside, he got the Jordan sad face back there in his background, but I got the real hat. You know what I'm saying?
And hey, I'm glad you took that fake Longview Lobo comment off of there.
Yeah, you saw that too.
That dude from
Yeah.
biggest Longview fan I ever seen.
Hey man, just why real about it though. I ain't gonna lie. He might not be from Longview, but he loved them Lobo.
Hey, I seen a comment that you put up a minute ago, where they were talking about the track times. We were discussing that. So it just so the parents know, a good track time doesn't trump average film. So like if the film ain't good and your kid is out there running free track times, then maybe he is a track runner playing football. And it's easy for everybody else to see that too as well. Like, so some people think that if a kid go out there and run 10-3, that every college coach gonna lose his mind and be like, damn, we got to jump on that kid right now. When in reality, if he run 10-3, but then he dropping every ball we throw him, or you know what I'm saying, or he getting ran by in coverage, that 10-3 is pointless. So it's like we got to understand that like the speed got to translate to the football field as well. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be on the track. Because I can see some kids that's running 10-3s, like, oh boy, the running back from Duncanville, and his 10-3 is showing on the football field. Because all it takes is one seam, and he 80 and out the gate.
And ain't nobody caught him from behind.
Yeah.
Nobody.
So, you know what I'm saying? The speed got to translate, man.
So I tell you like this, man. We ain't gonna stick around too long. But I do want to know, since you said you got a little bit more freedom, what are some of your kids that you're gonna try to make it out to go? Well, I ain't gonna say your kids, but just teams or games that you're gonna try to make it out to go see this coming up year.
So I really want to go to. I've never been to the Duncanville DeSoto games. I've never like I told y'all before we got on air. I wanted to see Sock and Duncanville play. I knew that game was going to be exactly what it was. You know what I'm saying? It was a real good defensive matchup where both teams came in with kind of a similar, style of play where they were kind of running it and banging on each other. And we just hoping that, whoever had the ball last is what I thought. Whoever had the ball last was going to win, just because I know that both teams are really well coached and physical. You know what I'm saying? That's real football to me, is them banging. So hopefully, I want to kind of see a matchup soon. I don't know if we're going to get it anytime soon, but I want to see some of these schools up north and down south play in pre-district. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them the first time they see each other be in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen a Parish Episcopal load up they out of conference schedule. I seen Sock load up they out of conference schedule. I seen a couple other teams add some out of state teams and stuff to their schedule. But I want to see some of these teams like a Geyer or South Lake or somebody like that play a team from the South, in out of district, and let them guys compete and kind of get used to seeing that. Because sometimes that's a deciding factor come December. You know what I'm saying? And I played up north, so I know the up north teams sometimes get to go play Lubbock and El Paso, and then they got to come back and see a Dallas school later on, and it's a whole different atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to put yourself in that situation a little bit sooner than later, if you're really trying to make that run to win a state championship.
Which is what we gotta add sometimes, right?
I chime in on that, Flight. So a lot of those, you got to think of the difference. So the schools up north historically have been established in football, and now that it's flipped in the last 10 or more years, a lot of them don't really want to play Southside schools. They feel like they got a lot more to losing the game to one of those teams, if that makes sense. So they don't like to take. They would rather beat up on certain teams. You know what I'm saying? But like people like Duncanville can't never find a game. You know what I'm saying? This didn't just start with us 4 years ago, because that was Yeah, so the year we scheduled, the COVID year, we had scheduled Denton Ryan and Duncanville. The people we called trying to play, it's more risk to lose to a Southside school because again, historically they supposed to be able to outcoach us. So now those games it's a risk to lose. You know what I'm saying? Allen and DeSoto had to play because Allen they didn't have no game. They played Bosco. They wouldn't go through that again. You know what I'm saying? DeSoto played that other school, same thing. So they both really needed games, if that makes sense.
Got you.
Well, actually, DeSoto played two. They played St. Aug
and St. Francis.
And then St. Francis. So they needed 2 games. So they probably gonna be like Duncanville.
Well, think about this though. It's funny you say that. So let me ask you this though, Ward. Do you think that given Allen's situation, given DeSoto's situation, that Allen needed that game more than DeSoto?
I think they both needed games because nobody wants to not play.
Well, I'm saying, do you think like they both needed games, but do you think not for just because they would add open weeks, but I'm saying mentality wise, growth wise, season wise, how does this help us get back to where we need to be? Do you think they needed that game?
I don't think it helps Allen. I don't think Allen is at a point right now as a program to where this can break your program for them. Like playing this game by 30, 40, 50, you got to understand its ramifications that go within coaching, within program history. It's like when we beat Poteet 77-7 at Memorial. You know what I'm saying? That kind of loss to a Dallas school, nobody knew we hadn't won state. So nobody you didn't look at us like you see us now. I'm saying regionally. So that changes things. They switched to the wing T the next year.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But the ladder to that though is if Allen wins, it would put them back into now Allen is back. They beat the defending state champions.
Yeah.
We got an opportunity to roll. The other side of it is hey, DeSoto is that good, and Allen, y'all need a lot of work. It's funny to say that now.
Those programs / communities / people that's been around typically don't take that stance. It's like Plano. Plano was king when you was in high school. You know what I'm saying? Into the 90s. They were, I guess you would say, the Alito of the time. Just consistent, except it was Big 6A.
Correct.
Plano still thinks like they did back then. As a district, how they function. You see what I'm saying? So like the realization that you're talking about could come, typically those districts don't have them. They kind of stay stuck in, that's what Cedar Hill going through. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even talking about coaches. They trying to function as a district with how they hire and how they pay and how they do all of these things the same way as they did when it was successful. So I don't know that realization ever comes.
Okay. And while Coach Carr up here killing mosquitoes and
I saw that trend. I was like, what are you finna do? What are you finna do? I was like, he just threw something.
Hey man, you get tired of giving that free blood, man.
Man, not shit. The spiders done moved in. These motherfuckers.
Hey man, I ain't mad at you.
I ain't got nothing else in the desk I can throw that ain't gonna break. So
I ain't mad at you, brother. Trust me, I'm not. Hey, Coach Flight, man. Before we get out here, I gotta ask you, man. What you said about the teams you want to check out? And I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if checking out Duncanville DeSoto is gonna be any different from the last few years. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't know. So y'all DeSoto people don't hit me up. I say I don't know, but I wouldn't take off work. That's all I'm saying. Now the Duncanville sock game always intrigued me because it's week 1, right? That's what intrigues me. Cause week 1, you don't know nothing, right? One team could have been preparing since spring. One team could have been preparing since August. Both teams gonna be kind of rusty, right? First game, stuff like that. So I always feel that game, week 1 for all levels, is the week you could get the shocker. You can get the upset.
Well, this is the thing too, though, J Mac. You're gonna find out just how loaded South Oak Cliff is.
We said this last year though.
Well, no. This year, and here's why: they lost 10 guys on defense.
Yeah, you're right.
You know
They
what I
lost
mean? So you're gonna see if when they talk about those juniors, those sophomores that's on JV that's getting ready to move up to varsity, you're gonna see if that's that pipeline. And what we was talking about earlier, Coach Flight. So now you're gonna see, who coming through SOC is gonna be the next best, the next big corner, the next big safety. You know what I mean? Because we haven't seen them, right? We haven't seen them. We haven't laid eyes on them. And now we're getting a chance to see. I think that's the reason why I think that game is gonna be so big, because Duncanville has everything he's got coming back, and SOC literally is gonna have to replace 10 guys on defense.
But they are replacing with the best 2026 class in DFW, possibly.
Correct. But those bullets ain't the same on Friday nights than they are that they are on Tuesday.
As your former head coach at Texas told you, a dog gonna bite as a pup if he a dog.
Yeah, but sometimes that bite ain't as big as that other dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying that they can't come in there and find out. You're gonna find out week 1 because you can't hide. That's the one thing about that game. You can't hide on that football field. And as much as Kyle does in that secondary and with that defense, you can't hide. You're gonna be in some man. You're gonna be in some underneath coverages. He's gonna be able to hide you here and there. You know what I mean? But shit, he like to play man-to-man backside. So how you gonna do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot that's gonna go into that first game that I'm just curious to see. Because of that, you lost 10, you replaced 10. I'm
excited, and I talked to Coach P and DeCorey Moore at Jordan announcement yesterday. They ready. They feel like they're gonna be better than ever. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see even better offense. We're gonna see, right? I definitely feel like they got the quarterback. I feel like, you ask me, they got the best quarterback in DFW. That's just my opinion.
They got the best 3 positions in DFW. Quarterback, wide receiver, running back.
Who's that?
Duncanville.
I agree.
As a group, you're not gonna find another group better than that.
Say them positions again.
Quarterback, running back, wide receiver.
I mean, who is it? You doing all the head motions?
Spit it out, Coach.
Okay. DJ and Keelan. Okay. You got DeCorey and Dalen, and then you got Tiger and
Caden.
Those aren't evenly matched.
I say no just because of the wideout. The Singleton kid is more potential. What we think he gonna probably do. Moore has done it for 2 years, so
yeah,
I don't think that's comparable. The other 2 positions people
it's
close,
wrong. Close? Is it close?
What you talking about?
No, it's close.
Position
I would say it's close, but I would say it's close east side. I mean.
Hold on. Coach Flight shaking his head kind of hard. Hold on, Coach Flight. You think it's kind of hard?
That's nothing against the Singleton kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Are you saying is it close between wideouts? Or are you saying all combined?
I mean, as a whole, because you can go back and forth. Keelan and DJ play with me, so DJ's a little more far advanced than Keelan, but. Then again, you run the samples offense. Keelan has all the tools and potential, just like you're comparing Dalen and DeCorey.
Nah, he's done it before. The Singleton kid hasn't been the feature yet. That's coming now.
I'm saying, but compare DJ and Keelan,
I've heard people argue about that. Like, it's not
I argue about it.
If you take the Soto fans and Duncanville fans out, the people who are not attached to any of those kids. Mm-hmm. I've heard them debate that consistently. Like, some people on this side, some people on that side. Both
when you see them practice and throw and experience.
Yeah, but they haven't seen that. Like, you going into what you've seen.
Yeah.
People evaluators only see game. So I'm saying they both have played. Obviously, DJ's first year starting, that kid started because of the injury, but they both played their first full season this year
and won a ring.
Yeah, won rings. So people, they not going. You may see it as lopsided because the kid's older, more advanced.
Right.
But if when people are just looking at it and evaluating it, I don't think it's as lopsided as you thinking because you obviously got more access to it. Like
and Keelan is a 25, right?
Yes, he's a 25.
Yeah. So he got a little bit more time.
Oh yeah, no, hey, dog, he got all the potential in the world. Yeah. And I said this earlier, you know, on another episode. I hope Samples open it up and let him throw the coin, let him throw the other guys, let him open up the offense a little bit instead of rely on Caden all the time. But you know,
I'm saying, why would he do that?
No, because it's still working. Right?
Eastside's the quarterback, man. That's why.
Hey, I love quarterback play just as much as anybody. But ain't no quarterback sitting back there begging to throw the ball when I'm handing the ball to a fade ball. Like, what are we talking about? I hope he stopped handing the ball to a damn near guaranteed touchdown. What?
10 yards of carry.
Why would he do
10
that?
yards of carry.
Yeah.
Come on, Sean. Like, why would you do
What
that?
do you mean, Coach? You want me to throw this ball 30 times and we got a guy that touches it every 5 times?
Soto didn't even do that. Like, that'd be my issue. Me and J-Mac laughed about this on the other episode. DeSoto didn't even do that. Like, they won a championship the same way. So we saying, I hope Duncanville let him open it up. What DeSoto didn't open it up.
I just asked. That's what
Why you ain't say? I hope they both let them open it up.
Same thing. They'll run the Corey on them.
Both of them backs had plus 30 carries in the last 3-4 games of the season.
Hey, Coach Ward. Every game that counted, the running backs had 30.
but that's where people get sensitive. That's not a shot to the kid. That's good football.
Oh yeah,
that's great football.
It's a reason they won state. They wasn't going to just air it out and put it on the kid's arm. Now, it may come a time if Duncanville or DeSoto is doing that, then that means they ain't got what they got right now. Because right now they ain't got to do that.
Well, think about it like this, though, Cal. Think about it like this. In the state game, he had to throw the ball and make those passes, right? He had to, right? He had to throw the ball to open
it was about
it
the
up,
same. It was about
right?
the same. Yeah.
Well, they was Caden wasn't popping them like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they had to mix it up and make the pass that he had to throw it, which is the same thing that Will had to do in the second half of y'all game. He had to throw the ball a lot more than what he had to and help win games. Yep. That's what a quarterback job is. But them cats up front, them cats in that backfield, if you got a running game, that's what's going to get you to December. You know what I'm saying? And your special quarterback is going to, not turn the ball over through that process and make the plays and throws that he has to make to win games. That's what their job is.
Yeah.
Hey, and I think it goes both ways. That's not taking a shot at nobody, but like I said, I favor Keelan because I just see Keelan as a better. And if offers count, right? If you want to take in offers, it kind of shows that potential is there farther down the line. And like Coach Ward just said, they both was a full-time starter for the first time this year, and they both won rings. So to sit here and say one is way better than the other, to me it's kind of crazy because a high school quarterback ain't all about passing. A high school quarterback is about leading and winning.
Well, every level of quarterbacking is about that, Jeremy.
Yep. Well, I mean, in NFL, I don't know, but okay.
Well, it's the same. Think about it like this: name me a quarterback that has won a championship that's all they do is throw the ball.
Yeah, but they don't want to get the glory.
Damn the glory. We're talking about championship.
Well, now championships, you're right. You're right. Absolutely. It's about leading and winning at the end of the day.
That's it.
It's about leading and winning and making plays when it's there. And that's why I tell people about Keelan. People like, oh, he didn't do nothing but hand the ball off to Cade. No, he didn't hand the ball off to Cade and ran it 80 yards against North Shore, which ain't nobody else did.
Yeah.
Hey, like
I'm saying?
Hey, when we first came on, man, like when we had our first 7-on-7 practice, And I got there, and I was like, I said, who the hell is that kid? I said, it's Keelan. I said, from Duncanville? Because he could flat out spin it. He could flat. I mean, you don't get to see it as much, but a lot of people ask who that quarterback was because he just didn't get a chance to spin it. He could spin it. He has a lot of potential. He can go. He's just young, so.
Yeah, I mean, Ollie, man, you can. That's the thing. Like them things they post on Twitter, where it be like I like them because I just like to look at people argue about it. But they post the 4 running backs or the 5 rappers. You got to get rid of somebody. That's what one of these conversations is. Like, come on, man, we arguing about the top, arguably the top 2, 3 combination groups in the state.
They the top 2 because they state champions.
Yeah. So I mean, but Key's in there, talking about Alito, which they could have a point. He could have a case.
And I love Alito quarterback. He probably be my number 1 in 24.
Yeah, I like him too. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know all that about Alito Keys.
Kyle, what's your quarterback?
Will Little.
Type of talent.
Will Little?
Huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Will Little.
The speed they got over there, man. And that's the thing. When you look at Duncanville top 3, that speed they have in that top 3, even from the quarterback to the running back to the receiver, it's all above average speed. They all possess like game-breaking speed. It's unreal to watch.
And you could, I mean, you had the quarterback, but you can say that about the 2 DeSoto kids. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you got to pick one, you got to pick one. And
but
you
do we know who? And even though Singleton, my guy, like, I like little Singleton, but let's just be honest, it's a divide over there in DeSoto that he not even gonna be the number 1 guy.
Who gonna be number 1, Booby?
I got a lot of people telling me Booby right now.
Well, here's what I do know. At the end of the day, man, we can end this. One of them is 0-1, and the other one is 1-0 against each other.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Look at Jesse over here. We not here to talk about Alito. Boy, my man Jesse be tripping though. You got to give Alito credit, man. We ain't gonna. Now you cannot be a fan of Alito, but we ain't gonna take away no credit. We go give credit what credit is due.
Ain't nobody balling but Long.
Yeah, and trust me, I got links about 40 over Longview and Alito. Y'all leave me alone.
Hey, that's tough, man. To see, like, you ain't gonna see a team till week 15. Like, your whole season built on getting back to that team. That's that play. Ooh, that's we lost to Frisco twice on that. Like, I know what that's like.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah. When you lose to somebody and you feel like you shouldn't have lost, you know what I'm saying? That feeling, you got to go through a lot of games, and you ain't think about these niggas. You know, you like, I'm just using you to get where they at. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can get slipped like that. It's tough to play like that, man.
Yeah, that's a rough one. So
that's the crazy thing, because I was talking to Matt Stepp, and I think I don't want to put it out there, but he's gonna put his 5-8 predictions out here in a minute, and I think he might put it in the group tomorrow. But or who he think gonna win out of them games, and yeah, hey man, what he said, it probably ain't gonna surprise nobody. It wouldn't be surprised for one team to win the first match and lose the second match, and then overcome the big dog.
I'm excited to see Alito in Paris for that reason, man. People be really sleep on how good Paris is. Like they
loaded up again.
And they loaded, and they done loaded up. They ain't playing. And Alito, they got that same feeling, but it's week 1. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the one I'm waiting to see.
Do they play each other again this year?
Yeah, week 1. They got to go to Alito this time.
Ooh,
Paris was up 17-0 at halftime. You know what I'm saying? Alito kind of made it more presentable. Of course I watched it, but I watched it live. So it's gonna be a little different. And Alito a little different, and Paris done loaded up. So
Paris done loaded up. Like loaded up. Hell, Sock better be careful.
Yeah. I mean, they only lost last year. So tell them to get in line.
Y'all really I ain't gonna lie, man. When you give out a kind of game that weeks after the players still remember, like we had Paris linebacker on, and he was like, that sock game was the most physically taxing game we ever played. Like cats had broken ribs, and it took weeks to recover. Like to me, that's the biggest compliment to another team.
That's how our schedule is. Our schedule is like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. You know, that, in my opinion, that was the difference between TCU playing Michigan and TCU playing Georgia. One, you got a month to prepare. You know what I'm saying? And being in a conference like that, now the next week you got to come back and play somebody that's just as good or maybe better. Like that's tough. That's why they got beat like that, dog. Like you ain't got a whole month to heal.
They got beat like that. They got beat like that because, you know, since you want to bring that up, Kyle.
I ain't talking about Michigan. I'm talking about TCU.
I know, but you talking about the way TCU, because they beat us. They beat us handily.
I know. I'm talking. They didn't beat y'all handily. And that was, y'all scored 1 million points and went back and forth, and it was exciting for the fans.
Well, it never. Right. But that's what I'm about to tell you that though, Cal. So TCU played above their head because Michigan talked noise and called them soft. Said that 4-2-5 gonna get ran down their throat, woo. That 3-3, whatever the hell they run, and them boys from Texas took it personal.
Yeah,
they didn't have that same intensity when they went against them Georgia boys.
Yeah.
So the difference in that game was a mindset. I got something to prove against these boys from the north, and I know because they talk about us. You know what I mean? And I'm from the South, and I understand. You know what I mean? They can't play ball up there. That's what they think, and they called us off. We about to wear them boys out. They did that. Then they started. Then they didn't have that same energy when they played against them Southern boys that looked just like them. That's what happened. So, but carry on, Cal. I just wanted to make sure.
I was just saying that's how our schedule is. You know,
you know, I'm very sensitive behind this shit.
I mean, I understand, dog. Like that's how ours went. You know, you like Fly said, you run into Duncanville. Yeah, we just run into each other for 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? 2.5 hours. You just run into each other, and then you got to line up the next week with a team that play that same style. You know what I'm saying?
That's really been waiting to play.
That's been prepping for you.
Yeah.
You know, it's just reality. And then you go into the Soto game, and you know that game was just we played really well in the first half on defense, and then we played like crap. We had to start pulling the older guys because they too beat up and cramping. And well, do we want to try to win next week? Like that was a real conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, do we want to try to win next week, or is we trying to make sure this is his pride kicking in? It's like, nah, man, we got to get something. He ain't gonna make it next week. He ain't gonna make it next week. You know, so you going to Parrish, like, okay, they got to show us they can play at this level because we done been through it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it wasn't like we won by a walkout field goal, so it wasn't like we came out and we won how we wanted to win. Don't get me wrong, you know that we like playing like that. But that don't mean that it wasn't a game that we was down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. So
that was a good game, man.
Nah, it was. It was good for us because I mean, Parrish was as close a glimpse as you can get at our level at the 5A D2. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was bigger than Parrish. You know, their O-line was the biggest O-line we saw last year. You know, then probably PNG and Argyle, but they were the big. You know what I'm saying? The quarterback was as good as any quarterback you're going to see in the Metroplex. I don't care about grade. This kid, he make the field goal by a throw. He goes through progressions. He changes plays. Like, he's different. And his scheme enables him to be advanced. So, you know, defensively, they got Division I players at each level of the defense. So, it ain't like, I mean, we still talking about the team that beat Alito. You know what I'm saying? They feel the same way a lot of people feel, but we talking about that one loss. You know, that loss right there was probably personal for him. You know what I'm saying? So
y'all gotta burn it.
I mean, that's just how I mean, that's the thing. We don't. People always ask, "With three-peat, man." We don't get to focus on that. Like, come on, man. Like, you know what we do
early.
Yeah, like we're trying to win the first game. You know what I'm saying? Like we
Do you
trying to
see
win
our
the first
schedule?
game.
Shit, we
But
got
in the
we
second
sure
game,
trying to
you
get
don't
ready
get.
for.
If you win the first one, the second game, you don't get to celebrate. You don't get to feel like you've accomplished nothing. Because if you win the first game and then lose 3 in a row, people gonna say the same thing they say about you 3.
Oh yeah,
you don't get,
you
no
get
break.
roasted for that week for sure. It is what it is. That just come
You
with
got to
it.
take that. You got to know that's why you're scheduling it. But again, we never saw that level of football. Once them four was Summit was different. Summit was built like everybody else. That we talking about, yeah, that was different.
And that's a whole nother show that we're gonna have that show. I meant to do it today, but I had the opportunity to get Coach Flight on. So I wanted to get Coach Flight. But we're gonna have that Summit, Heritage, Everman, Argyle, Emerson, Melissa, Lovejoy conversation. That conversation is gonna happen.
Yeah,
and we're gonna have it. I'm telling you right
He's
now.
off
You smiling, like, what you smiling for, man?
Man, look, because it was a little running joke.
Man, Esau, hold on, Flight. Esau, what you talking about, man? Who over there winning something? Quit trying us like that. You represent the East. You need to, man. What we say, man?
You need to worry about Wiley.
Dang.
Oh, dang.
He just threw up the W, man. You didn't see it.
Hey, Wiley County is the east side or the north side?
No, they might as well be. Wiley might as well be.
No,
that east.
They got to be above 121.
Northeast.
Nah, heck no.
No, that's east side, man.
Plano. Flight, you got to count Plano.
No, Mesquite.
Okay, that's
Garland,
above
Wiley,
George Bush,
section,
above George Bush Parkway.
Yeah.
George Bush.
What's
Turnpike.
Yeah, okay. You say George Bush. That
Richardson is the South.
What?
Nobody
Richardson
Richardson is not the South.
No, I'm playing.
Richardson is North with an F. That's not.
Hey, Mo 3, where Mo 3 from? They was over there,
McKinney
Park, huh?
He's from McKinney, but he was with Hamilton Park when he was in the North.
And that's south of Richardson. So yeah, they say the North.
That's off of 635. They good.
So north of 630. So
anything north? Okay, that's a new thing. North of 635.
Anything north of 45 and 75 and 635.
No, that's going north. You saying 635? That's what you talking about, ain't you?
635 is the cutoff.
No,
yeah, from the south, we consider north above 635.
That's what I'm saying.
So anything above 635 is considered the north.
There it is.
I say that.
So what is Hillcrest?
Dang.
Hillcrest is south of 635.
Anything above South Dallas is north, bro.
Right. I need
when they talking about black and white,
what is Lake Highlands? Is Lake Highlands the south?
Nah.
See, that's what I'm saying.
That's a great area.
I got a lot.
See, Coach Carl, you gotta realize it's North Dallas.
Because
it's North Dallas.
Y'all taking WT White
at North Texas.
I've always considered that North Dallas. I've always considered that North.
See, I've always considered Hillcrest North Dallas.
But it is. See, North Dallas and North Texas is a difference. North Texas is up there where Flight is.
Yeah.
So that anything past 635 is considered North Texas.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this, Will, because you deal with this with recruiters a lot. It's two perspectives: people from Dallas's perspective, and people from outside of Dallas's perspective. So when people say the south side of Dallas, they talking about with the suburbs. But when we who from say the south side, we talking about the sunny south.
Yeah, that's fair point.
Right. So it's the same way with the north. Where Flight from, Flight don't consider WT White and Hillcrest the north side of Dallas. You see what I'm saying?
No.
He considers that still down.
I'm using the term because we talking about Wiley. We first talking about Wiley. So they said it's Wiley but Wiley is right off of George Bush, ain't it?
Yes.
So Wiley got to be considered northeast Texas, like you said it's about.
Northeast.
So I'm saying when they win big, is that a north side win or east side win? You can't claim both. It don't work like that. Which one?
See, y'all would consider Wiley to be a suburb school because remember the years Wiley was really good. People were saying they was a north side school.
Okay, that's why I'm asking because it's right next to Plano and Allen, right?
Yeah.
I I just want some clarity, man. I just need to know so when I'm talking to people, I know how I need to
But
talk.
y'all can't just disown Hillcrest and schools like that now.
Well,
no, we not.
Hillcrest, Thomas Jefferson, Conrad, W.T. White. To me, they've always been considered the North, like North Dallas. You know what I mean? When I meet people from Richardson, they don't tell me they from Richardson. They tell me they from Dallas. And then when I start asking them what high school they went to, then they go, "Oh, I went to Berkner," and I'm like, "Yeah, but you're not really from Dallas. You're from Richardson."
Right.
So I need to know, just like people from Rowlett. There was a guy on our team from Rowlett. He said, "Yeah, man, I'm from Dallas. I'm from Dallas." I said, "Man, you ain't from Dallas. You from Rowlett." Nah, coach, don't say that. People don't know who Rowlett is. They know, so I just say Dallas. I'm like, "But you're not from Dallas, you know?" So I need to understand it. So now I understand. Thank you, Coach Flight and Coach Eastside for that clarification.
Like, where you went to high school at?
I went to Little M.
Okay. Oh, you way now. Yeah, you Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
That's Oklahoma.
That's Oklahoma.
Out of here.
You up there with Anna and Melissa. Yeah.
Now see, when I first got to Little M, they told us not to go to Anna and Melissa.
I bet not.
So not to go to where? Now we can go over there. When I was there, they was like, "Man, don't you get caught on that end of 380 and 75. You better stay on down this way."
Hey, 15 years before, 15 years before you was where you was, somebody told us that about where you was.
Hey man, I was so mad when we moved out there because I used to. So I went to before we moved to Little M, I went to Forest Meadow, and we were living in the North Dallas area. And then you know, of course, my people got a little bit of little bit of something.
Car.
Yep, I see it.
What happened?
J Mac is the first. J Mac is a legend in Oak Cliff. His family was the first to migrate because of doing better financially. He
said the first.
We're gonna have a statue of him in Oak Cliff. The phrase when your family doing better and you move on up to more expensive parts, it's called J Mac. So y'all J Mac. You younger than J Mac. He was the first one, man. He was like Clarence Thomas now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the first one according to the sock books.
First for J Mac, man. He started the Carter to DeSoto trend.
The Oak Cliff.
Because all the blacks you talking about was already in DeSoto. You left the suburbs to go to DeSoto. And you only did it for 1 year. That's the bad part about
it. They got money, man. You know, that's how it is, man. They were trying to get away from y'all, Carl. I don't know what y'all were doing over there.
I don't even see
man, who left this comment?
Keys, man. Keys just be trolling like I be doing in the chat.
Oh man.
Hey man, we ain't finna worry about it. Keys be tripping, dog.
Keys just be trolling, man.
Yeah, he like to troll, man.
I wish his son, Keys, I wish your son was sorry. I wish he was sorry. I can say stuff to you, but I can't say nothing a lot of times because
man, Keys' son been wearing a 5X glove since he was an 8th grader.
And I'm not gonna say nothing to Keys because he looked just like Little Meech. So to me, he's probably part of the family. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want no beef with BMF. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got no beef. I don't want no beef with Bill. So keep trolling, Keys. We ain't got nothing to say to you, bro.
Hey, Will, J Mac, we played Alito that first time, so their back was hurt. The starting running back, his elbow had popped out the week before, so we knew we was gonna get the other back. And Keys is a sophomore, and I'm like, man, I hope they're not finna start giving this big old fool some carries. You know what I'm saying? So they ran the other back for like a whole quarter and a half. And as soon as Keys got that rock, it got punched out. He fumbled. They snatched him out. I said, yes. They put it back in. Ooh, boy, that boy.
Hey, before Keys cut his hair, he looked like Bruno Mars. So it's a little soft.
Mm-hmm. He did look like Bruno Mars.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But you know what, man? We gonna get on out of here because we ain't got Ty. Where Ty? Is Ty still in the DR? Are they holding the man up?
I think he got back yesterday. But you know, you can't work out this week, so I probably won't see him this week because nobody's supposed to be doing on campus workouts this week. That's the 4th of July thing.
You know, I replayed the show we did with the Sock Takeover. You not going to some island on your vacation?
No, man, I traveled a lot in the spring, man. I spoke at stuff and I went to Jamaica and next year it'll be a summer thing because I got a wedding and different stuff to go to out of the country. So it'll be next summer I'll be gone. Which this summer it works out because I got such an inexperienced group. So I needed to be here this summer a lot more and do a lot. Last year I had vets, so it was different.
Yeah. I feel you, man. You always know to do the right things, man. You're an awesome guy, Coach Ward. Gee whiz.
Not at all. I'm very unethical. I'm very
Say you're very unethical.
Very unethical.
I don't believe it.
Very
I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe it.
In typical Kyle Ward fashion.
Hey, Coach Flight, I apologize for kidnapping you for over 2 hours. You could have left whatever you wanted. You see, B. Rise left. You could have left whatever you wanted.
B. Rise didn't leave.
Say, man, he got up out of here quick.
B. Rise text me, said, "Dang, good looking out, Carl."
Be right. Like I'm only gonna be here until the other people get here. Then I'm.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just feeling right now.
My boy B. Rod.
Hey man, but I appreciate you. Hey, it ain't always gotta be 2 hours flight. You more than welcome to come back. Don't let this deter you.
Oh no, man, I had fun, man. I appreciate y'all once again for having me out, man. And you know, I like the format, man. I like how the comments can pop up. We can change some subjects real quick.
Yeah, hey man, I got to go back and rewatch the show because the chat was hot tonight. I'm going to go back and rewatch it because I know I missed some things.
Right, it get bad. It get bad though.
Oh, I know, man.
It's not always this chat.
And you know how most people, you know, when they get bored, they scroll on TikTok or they get on Instagram. Now I get in these group chats and just start scrolling when I'm at work and just laughing at some of the stuff I see, man. I'm like, man, this can't be real. Some of this stuff can't be real, but you know, I appreciate it though, man. It's a lot of competitive people, man, and I'm a competitor, so I get it. You know, everybody's kid is gonna be the best. Everybody's team gonna be the best. Everybody's favorite player is gonna be the best. So, you know what I'm saying? It's around the corner, man. It's August almost here, man. We'll be able to see who really been putting that work in, and then shoot from there. We're gonna see who lasts till December.
Yeah, and for all that for y'all that hit me up talking about what I said earlier. Yep. I'm just saying what people said to me who gonna be the number one wide receiver. I ain't predicting nothing. I'm just only saying what's been told to me. I just report the news. I don't make it up.
You know it gets sensitive, man, when you say like it's like a competition. It's not.
All I know is it's bad business to have somebody waiting for their turn and then get skipped over. It's bad business.
They're not gonna get skipped over, man. I mean,
I'm not saying no name.
Everything.
You let a freshman come in and outplay you, and you've been dogging on Boise, man. That's your fault.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen, man.
Yeah,
if we talk about a situation,
everybody probably talk about the same one, but I've been hearing
everybody got to put their time in, man.
Hey, man, what I'm hearing is the phenom ain't trying to wait for nothing.
What city?
By management.
But what? Well, listen. First of all, it could be by management. It could be by whatever. At the end of the day, man, if I got two options that want to be number one, I got a damn good offense.
Yeah.
Because one is true. You can't double both of them, so one of them gonna get one-on-ones.
That's
and
true.
Whoever the team feel is the most threat, the other one should be happy as hell. Somebody gonna have one-on-one.
Well,
I would welcome a big-time receiver if I'm a big-time receiver.
I'm just gonna be honest. It don't matter because the main option getting that joker 30 times a game when it counts. But so you can just don't even worry about it because it's a run. It's a run first game when it comes to championships. Don't y'all forget that.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, at the end of the day, man, the kids got to play and they got to prove it. We can all predict and hope and want, and some people hate. But at the end of the day, man, the kid they got to play, and they got to make the plays. and they're gonna make mistakes. And then in the next offseason or that week after the game, people will talk about it, because if you make more plays than mistakes, big plays, then you sway it. A lot of people try to. That's the thing right now. Too many people trying to talk that kid and stuff. Like, your kid got to play, and you can talk him into making people see it, but when they looking, he got to make the play. It's really that.
Man, I'm just ready for it, man. I told Coach Flight, man, if I got to watch one more Lifetime movie with my old lady, I'm gonna lose my mind. I need some football.
That's your fault.
It ain't my fault. I'm trying to
is.
keep a nice, happy home, but I need some football.
Damn that shit. Listen, football. Don't do that.
I need some football, man. I need some football.
Hey, that just made me think about why getting chewed out on here, man. Well, she was on his neck. I wasn't even looking. I was looking around, and I just heard. I was like, man, who is that shit? Was she talking to? And then that camera cut out quick. I said, oh, shit. We ain't forgot, Jesse. Hey, Alito wasn't the biggest L last year.
Hey, man, I gotta go back. I gotta go back on that show and screen record that, because that got to be the classic moment ever.
Hey, when you said he was gone because he was getting married, I was relieved. I was concerned, dog.
So Jesse took an L that night. He did.
No, he took an L. It was so funny. Matt Step texted me on that one. Matt was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, Matt was on here. Hey, did he come back?
No.
Did y'all call a check?
My boy was over there getting abused.
He tried to come back and
Flight, it was bad. Like, I'm talking about, as soon as he came on, I guess he wasn't muted. As soon as she started going out.
Nah, man.
Oh my! And he was trying to troll too. That was the bad part. Like, he was trying to talk noise. Just straight up chit check in front of the whole. It happens like that.
Gotta leave real sometimes, B.
Gotta leave the group.
You gotta be more responsible and careful, Jesse. That's on you. You gotta make sure you come on with the mute on. You gotta know your situation. You might have to come on without the camera on. Make sure to test the temperature before you hop in there, man. You gotta be more careful.
Yeah, man. Listen to Harpo.
Just lock the door.
Yeah. Lock the door.
That'd made it worse, but it'll sound like he had somebody tied up in there.
Right.
Beating on that door, man.
But I'm coming out.
No, that was crazy. But you know what?
He said she wasn't talking to him. He said he just commented. He said, "Man, y'all capping." She told J Mac she wasn't talking to me. Well, look, I wasn't even on the show. Why? And I was concerned.
Hey man, we can't erase what's on. It's on wax, man. We can't take it off.
Look, he gonna talk about it. You see, it ain't happened again. You ain't been on the show since then. You done got married, had grandkids, and still ain't been on the show.
Yeah. Yeah,
boy, you can't tell me everybody don't get it on this show. Y'all crazy. Oh shit. Eastside, what you got before we get out of here, man?
Hey, I need you to find that clip. I gotta go check on my brisket.
No, that shit was classic, dog. I promise. And what gave it away, I know Jesse's talking now, but what gave it away was his reaction. That one gave it away.
I had that image of his face before he got out of here. Like, he didn't know she wasn't talking to him. I don't care what you say, Jesse.
Thank you.
Nobody knew. You found out later. That don't change it. We was all like, oh.
Hey, when the only white guy was like, he got concerned, like, oh my God.
Hey,
What did I get myself into?
Hey, you know how you get that uncomfortable look? Step was on here, and he was like,
Do I need to get off now? No, we're good.
Steph say, look, I tell my wife, look, baby, you run everything, but when I'm on the show,
oh man,
we ain't doing that.
That made me think about that.
Don't do me like Jesse White.
I need to go back and watch that show, J Mac. Are we different, J Mac? I need to go back and watch that show. Are we different? Do we talk different? Do we act different?
No.
You and Matt, y'all both sound like white guys.
Nah. Come on, man.
God dang.
We was talking about the second episode, man.
No, go back and watch that second episode. You know what? I think you was almost in PC mode on that, because that was your first time on the show. I think you was a little bit more in PC mode. Now, Todd ain't never changed. That dude right there, but you go back on that show, Todd was probably more relaxed than ever. And Spencer was, the young bull was,
firecracker.
But go back and watch that, man.
I like that
in the group.
Spencer be fired up.
Spencer be fired up, man. I don't even know if Spencer my homeboy no more. I don't think he like me no more ever since I picked Woodrow. Hey,
Spence, the way Spence is, Spence gonna always find something to take personal.
He do,
like I'm saying it as like a competitor. Like that's
he got the Michael Jordan
talking about it on The Last Dance. Spence is like that. Like he's gonna find something in every situation to take personal to drive himself. You know what I'm saying? That's his personality. So you say Woodrow gonna beat us. I'm looking at you like, hey man, I respect them cats, but come on, man, you tripping. You know what I'm saying? I still to this day don't believe you meant you just was shock jockey. You know what I'm saying? But you know, so
I ain't gonna lie, man. I was supporting my man, Coach Bryce, man. Coach Bryce is my guy. I was trying to support my man. Let me support my guy. That's the homie.
Yeah.
But the video when they went and got blew out by Ennis, I ain't thinking that no more. I can after that whole Ennis thing,
we was up 14-10 in the fourth quarter. So I mean, and we didn't play bad. So when they came out and they didn't make you look stupid, we stretched it out late.
Yeah, no, they didn't make me look stupid. But whatever. Don't be mad at me, Coach Spencer.
Man, Spencer ain't mad at you.
I gotta support everybody.
One thing I know is you've been to SOC multiple times, and if somebody on our coaching staff is mad at you or don't like you, you can't come around us and know and not know. Like you go.
Yeah, lie. I don't know, man. That Thanksgiving practice was kind of brutal, wasn't it? Because Coach Carr just left me hanging.
Well, no,
Coach Carr, he didn't even know me, Coach Flight. You ever been with somebody and then it got rough and the homeboy kind of faded to the back?
No, you can't pick and choose when you want me to lie.
Put my husband right to work.
Now, angry coach got mad at you. He went fed, and he was with you. He was with you. As much as he talked noise about you, angry coach was your biggest fan.
Hey, and that was what was so confusing because I ain't never had nobody holler at me in support.
Yeah, he did. He did what you do. He do you like you do Coach Paul.
You right. And Coach Paul, my guy. And Coach Allen.
Yeah.
Because they don't believe me over there at Horn. They think I'm just the worst guy, man.
Hey, we should have got Paul in the comments, man. Mama Moore, she was arguing in the chat and stuff, man. You know, that's a handler. Man, we should have we got to call Paul.
Paul said he ain't going on Facebook. I tried multiple times. He said he ain't going.
Paul on Facebook. He said that's one of the things he learned from last year.
Hey man, hey Coach Flight, make sure you come back and hang out with us, man. We finna get out of here.
Anytime, man. Y'all let me know.
Hey, when the season starts, cause I need to hear them opinions. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be at some big games.
No, for sure. Especially this year. I'm gonna get my little pass from Under Armour. I'm gonna be on the side.
Hey, no, Coach Flight, you can get a pass with us that'll get you in every game. Look here, man. Here's what we're gonna do, Coach Flight. We need a correspondent out on the north side.
No.
North
We got an East Side correspondent.
I ain't going to none of them games.
But we need
He
just told you I'm looking forward to these games, and he didn't name a North Side team.
He didn't name not one.
He ain't going out there for no games.
Those games go is scheduled up there. That's why. You know, coming into the game, this is a 45 to 10 game.
Flight, who you got? You got Louisville or Highland Park?
I'm gonna go with Louisville.
Okay. Who won it last year?
I don't even know. Look, that's how you know I don't go to no game.
Highland
What was the score?
Oh, that was Louisville only lost. Okay.
Yeah.
They play at Highland Park.
Yeah. Who you got? McKinney Longview. You want to look at that one? Coach Flight?
McKinney.
McKinney Longview.
Going with McKinney on that one.
If McKinney don't win that game, man, I might have some harsh
McKinney
words.
has to
win. But I'm saying
I'm gonna have harsh words.
Hey man, how you gonna put on somebody? You gotta be Longview or I'm on your ass.
Because Longview is 5A, bro. And you are 6A.
Longview has dominated in 6A D1. I mean Division 2. Also.
Yeah, but they got like multiple. They got, and this is why we're gonna have a whole nother conversation because McKinney got all these 4 and 5 stars and all these D1 guys that's committed left and right.
I mean, that can mean they do a better job than the other school.
Well, that's gonna be the question on my ass too.
Yeah, that don't mean this kid could be committed and this kid on the other team could not have no offers. That don't mean that kid is a better football player in high school. Sometimes some of these schools coaching staffs just do a better job with it.
But we gotta talk about it. Put it out there.
Here's the thing, J-Mac. Longview is still Longview, and they're going to always be Longview, and you're only talking about one game. You're not talking about
at home. I'm talking about one game at home.
Wait, Longview at home?
No, McKinney's at home.
But Longview travels. Longview going to have more people at that game than McKinney.
Ooh.
They better not lose.
I'm gonna tell Shavers to cut this and show this to the McKinney community.
You can show them, tell them because they lose, they get off the internet.
I'm talking about the fans, man. Show up.
Oh yeah, the fans don't show up. That's Coach Carr. Say that loud, Coach Carr.
I'm not lying. Listen, you talking about McKinney? What kind of history McKinney got? I'm listening.
I mean, Shavers. I think Shavers won the first playoff game in the last 20 years.
That's it. Stop right there.
Yeah.
They still don't even know if they're good or not.
And that's what I'm saying, Will. Like you got 4-5 years ago, however long it was, they won their first playoff game in 20 years. Then I think they had a down year or two. And then it kind of went back up. Second round, and then last year was third round. How you go from third round to you be Longview or I'm on your ass? Like, damn.
But that's my whole point, though, man. They don't even know if they good or not. That's J-Mac. That's J-Mac don't know.
I don't know. No, I'm looking at a 6A. They should be favored to win that district this year. We talking about a 6A team.
First of all, J-Mac, you went in and said 6A. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with it.
No, it do. It do. Because would you favor Longview over? Would you favor Longview over Duncanville?
I don't favor anybody over
both 6A.
Yeah, Duncanville could be 1A. They Duncanville. Like,
okay, would you favor Longview over Southlake?
Yeah,
I would. I would feel the same way about the game because you know what, McKinney and Southlake was a dogfight. I'm more looking at McKinney. This is a measuring stick for McKinney. Longview got to show up and beat a really good football team. But if McKinney wins this game, they take a step as a program. This is that's what I'm
talking about. It's about time.
But it's about time. What you mean?
It's time for them to take the step. They got ballers out there, dog.
This is where it gets dangerous because it's about time, but they hadn't won a playoff game in 20 years, 4 years ago. What do you mean? It's about time that they beat Longview?
Because they got the guys now.
Dog, kids didn't just start showing up. Like, dog, they've been had these kids. It's just a different staff. McKinney's still McKinney. McKinney ain't blacker than it was. McKinney,
you heard this coach
ain't no different than it was 5 years ago.
McKinney definitely is getting blacker than it was.
Well, okay,
it's kids moving on. They moving to McKinney.
Oh, okay, but hold on, East Side. I mean,
when I was in school, McKinney was all white.
But Coach Flight, let me ask
North
you,
had all the black kids.
Are they moving? Okay, so
you looking at when you was in school.
I'm gonna give you this example, Coach Flight, and I'm just gonna use the University of Michigan for an example. University of Michigan black population is probably 5%. Okay, but if you look at our football team, you wouldn't know that. So that's what I'm asking.
That's what I'm
saying
about.
that the football team is mostly black, and we're gonna say the school is black, or are we saying that there are blacks in that school that don't play sports and it's more of them?
No, I'm saying the football team is getting blacker by the.
But that don't make the school black.
That feeds into what I'm talking about. That's not a school thing. They have
no, it's not. It's definitely not a school thing.
Yeah, they got
people
a black head coach on the north side.
For Coach Shavers.
Yeah, they got a black head coach on the north side. How many black head coaches are there on the north side at schools that can win, or they got resources? You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm not including Richardson and Irvin. You take them out. What black head coaches you got?
He just got their first.
Lil Lamb.
Lil Lamb ain't got a black head coach no more.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? So he's the only one.
The coach at Hebron, ain't he black too?
Yeah, Hebron. So that's two.
But
that's what I'm saying. Yep, team don't get black or Flight. That's representation. That ain't moving. That ain't an athletic. Like,
but I'm saying, y'all, like when we talk about Longview versus McKinney, so this is what I'm saying. McKinney got a lot more dudes over there than y'all think they do.
No, I don't think it's that. We know McKinney kids are getting recruited at a high level. You know they got dudes. I think you sleep on the dudes Longview always got. They ain't got to get offers and be committed. Longview is Longview regardless, dog. What's scary about Longview is they do have some recruited kids. I ain't saying they gonna win or they gonna. I'm saying my problem was J-Mac putting it like it's a upset.
Like it's a must win.
Like, come on, fam. Like this would be a program. This would probably be the biggest win in McKinney football history. And you saying it's about time. Like this ain't the school ain't been open for 85 years or something.
But that's J-Mac, and that's what J-Mac can do.
That's what he's shock jockey.
You know what, man? Hey, how's that shock jockey? Nobody in McKinney listen to the show. Hey, shock jockey.
I feel like people everywhere listen to the show. Because you got to think we everywhere. Like the parents, the parents that are most in the chat participating, they are everywhere. At every school. And how many parents hit you up, J-Mac, saying, mention my son? That's from some school who we don't talk about regularly. Like, that's normal. They're everywhere, I'm telling you. So,
yeah.
At the end of the day, man, Longview going to beat McKinney. And that's my not so early top pick.
Dang, that's where you ride?
In McKinney.
I mean, it ain't like McKinney. Flight, it ain't like McKinney, a hostile environment. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like Flight talking about like they could go down in the
it's only two stadiums that up in this area where it's like if you play there and it is a thing. Like that's Allen, Highland Park, and Longview. And that's way in East Texas.
I don't know. Have you been to Salina?
I don't count them because that's so rural. That's one horse town.
They shut the city down.
I'm not counting them. Allen is in the middle of the Metroplex, and they shut the city down when they go. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, outside of that, I mean, I ain't never played the high school games. That's a problem is the playoff games. That's when it gets loud. You know what I'm saying? Going and play at a school, this is my year 15. And I done been in the game, and I ain't never fit. Outside of them three, Highland Park, it don't even be loud. You just lose. I can't tell you why. Bruh,
cool, calm, and collective.
Man, I remember that we kicked the punt. It went high. It bounced weird. The returner anticipated the bounce. When I was at West Mesquite, we was up 21 or something. It's some weird play. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, them three stadiums different.
Longview definitely different. I hate that place.
Yeah. And that's a college stadium in high school. Ain't no other situation a 5A or 6A kid gonna have fans behind him from the other school.
But you know what would be dope though? If Grand Prairie got the perfect stadium to be
the Gopher Bowl, if
they had a good football team.
The Gopher Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got about 10 fans in the stadium.
Yeah. But they got but that stadium, because it's sit underground, get loud.
Yeah. How you know?
Playoff game.
Oh, trust me. It go way back, boy. Hey, Longview been like that forever.
Look, y'all finna make me rally the troops.
What you say, Flack?
I'm gonna go join the street team for Shavers and fill them stands up.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Flight, when you talk to Shavers, they'll say, "Hey, man, word on the street is y'all ain't got no fan support. Make sure week 1, if you don't ever come out week 1."
That's a big game, man.
Man, they better make week 1 homecoming.
That's a big game for them.
For real.
Like you say, boy. Yeah, that's a huge. And
this like a relevance game. Like this is a relevance game. This is you win this game, you earn respect. You know what I'm saying? Around the state.
That's the game I'm going to there. Look, I'm gonna put it out there.
People on notice.
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, McKinney win that. They put people on notice.
Yeah, I mean that's when you win them. That was our thing. The year we beat Alito, that was the Soto thing. They hadn't beat that team. That was people's argument. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't a coincidence that when both of them teams did that, they won state championships. So you go into a different class when you do that. So, I mean, they just gonna have to. I want to see it because I want to see if McKinney done took that step, like J-Mac said. But I ain't like, well, if they lose, yeah, they go like.
Well, I'm just saying, if they lose against Longview, I have no expectations for them.
But if they lose against Longview, at least you know where they are. You know what I'm saying? Like you know where you are as a team, right?
Yeah, that's true, and that's why I know where they are. I expect them to lose first round again.
They ain't lose first round; they lost third round.
Well, third,
South Lake in the
second.
fourth quarter. Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna win second round. They're gonna take a step back.
You just intentionally trying to be disrespectful, so we gonna stop you.
I am not, dude. You cannot lose to Longview week 1. That's all I'm saying. You got to beat Longview.
That's a good team, J-Mac.
A great team.
Okay, McKinney is a good team. What y'all trying to say?
Hey, what if McKinney plays them close? What if Longview wins by field goal? You still think their season trash?
If it's a close game, no, I don't. I think
if it's a close game. If it's a close game, I'm gonna go. I say McKinney gonna go at least 4 rounds.
If it's a close game, then I ain't
shot.
tripping. But if McKinney, if McKinney let Longview go in there and do them like they did McKinney North when Longview went up there, then that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, McKinney North got
that's a whole different team.
Yeah,
I know it's a whole different team, but you know what I'm saying. All I'm saying is I expect McKinney to make a move this year. That's all I'm saying. And it starts week 1.
All right, fellas, I gotta go. I gotta get my brisket. Y'all tripping?
Yeah, man. It looked like Lincoln Riley brisket.
We all need to go, Coach Eastside.
Yeah, we all gotta go. We'll holler.
Hey, y'all be
All
safe.
All right, y'all.
Appreciate your flight.
Yes, sir.
Watch this. Watch this.
Next, football talk is a big hit. Sunday nights to Wednesday nights, we striking a match cause we lit. Y'all know the name, we call it the Dub. On Friday nights, it feel like a club. Getting that VIP treatment on the sideline, they showing us love. Great interviews, go Hugs. Putting in work, go Reds. Texas youth and high school talking to page on Facebook, hold up. Coach Carter, still on the scene.